He swung on and hit the inner right field deep. And you can't forget about this one. Lee Salter hits number 5, and the Newport Gulls retake the lead.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Gone! A grand slam! To left power, right tower power, and the Gulls walk off in the 15th inning!
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Tomas steps in the back for one out, throws to first, and he's in time, a double play.
And that one is gone! Joey Hefner!
A high drive, left field deep. Bolzano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. T.J. Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his first year covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Darren Zaslow.
The Newport Gulls seek revenge against the 2016 NECBL defending champion Mystic Schooners here tonight at 6:35 p.m. from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. How you doing, everybody? Darren Zaslow with you here in the city by the sea as the Newport Gulls look to avenge a 5-1 loss to Vermont this past Saturday in Montpelier, Vermont. On the other hand, Mystic grabbed their first win of the season yesterday with a 4-3 win over the Plymouth Pilgrims. And these two teams know each other very well. The Schooners eliminated the Gulls last year in the Southern Division Championship Series. So the Gulls right now trying to grab some revenge and look for their second victory of the season. Once again, it's Newport Gulls Scholarship Night here at the ballpark as the Gulls host the Schooners at 6:35 p.m. I'm Darren Zaslow. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts right now.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Dave Peck alongside Cameron Meisner. Cameron batted .282 in your first year with the University of Missouri. Talk to me about the transition from high school ball to college.
A big part of it, I guess, is just learning from your mistakes and just growing up as a person and just seeing what some of the other guys do and lead from their example.
So far this season, you have batted .357, doing a good job putting the ball in play so far. What's been working for you at the plate?
Just finding the pitch that you want, just trying to hit it hard. That's pretty much it.
Obviously, it's a much different vibe playing summer ball compared to when you're playing with your college team. How do you balance staying loose, having fun with the guys, but also putting your best baseball out there when you get on the field?
It's all the game of baseball. It's all the same. You just go out there and have fun, and it's fun when you got a good group of guys in your team, and just playing together, it makes everything a lot funner, and everything goes smooth, and keep playing.
You're one of the younger guys on the team, like I said earlier, a rising sophomore at Mizzou. Have you learned anything, any good advice from some of the older guys here in Newport?
Oh yeah, just watching them how they go about their business, and just some of the stuff they see when they're hitting, and some of the stuff they come back in the dugout and say. It just wraps around your mind, I guess, and you learn a whole lot more.
All right, thank you, Cameron. Best of luck this season. Pre-game show continues next on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Shannon O'Connell here with catcher Nick Raposo for the Gulls IView. So Nick, how has your time been on Newport so far?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's a great group of guys, and we're just enjoying playing. Season hasn't gone our way yet, but we'll turn around soon.
All right. So you grew up in Johnston, which isn't too far from here. Have you been to any Gulls games when you were younger?
No, actually, it's the first time I've been here. I played on this field a couple summers ago, but first time at a Gulls game playing for it. It's pretty cool.
Okay, but you've been the catcher for the past couple of games. How is the relationship between the catchers and pitchers so far?
The first couple of days, it's always tough with a new pitcher, but I think we're working through the flaws, and I think each game is getting better and better, so I think it'll keep progressing.
And what goes through your head when you're behind the plate?
A lot of pitch calling, control the running game, obviously. Just make sure the pitcher's in a rhythm, feeling comfortable. That's the biggest thing.
Well, you go to Wheaton College, which is a relatively small school. How does it feel to be able to represent that here in the NECBL?
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. Wheaton College, I love it. It's first year this year. It was a good time. We had a good season, made it to World Series, so it's an honor, definitely an honor to represent here.
Awesome. But you're one of the temp players here on the Gulls. Do you have any summer plans after your time here?
No, just keep playing baseball, get ready for the fall. That's really it.
All right, and you had your first Your first weekend off, what did you do?
I spent some time with my family. They support me a lot, so it's always good to spend some time with them.
All right, thanks. Have a great game. The pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the Newport Gulls pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Ulmer, and Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. Jack, I'm going to start with you. This is a Mystic team that just grabbed their first win of the season last night, a 4-3 victory over Plymouth. What did you see from the Schooners in that ball game?
Well, it was great fight by them. They've never led in a game for more than half an inning, and to come out and they got down into an early 3-1 deficit, but they battled all the way back. A huge Brett Bond home run put them in a tie game, and then Nick Michelli with a sac fly in a bases-loaded situation allowed the Schooners to walk off. So they hope this builds confidence moving forward. Unfortunately, they lost Rich Chufo during this outing to a torn ACL. He was providing some great defense for them at the shortstop spot, but to get that first one on the board is huge for this team.
You bring up Nick Michelli. What a start that he has had this year out of Wagner. He's batting .500. He's 8 for 16. How important has he been to the Schooners lineup?
Oh, he's fantastic out of that leadoff spot. Anytime you have a guy who you feel like can get consistently on base out of that number one spot is huge, and he's just creating so many opportunities, not only for himself, but for other players to advance him and score runs.
Also for Mystic here, 3 of their first 4 games have been decided by 1 run. And Jack, do you feel like those games could have gone either way?
Definitely. I mean, that first game was an 8-7 loss against Plymouth. Mystic took a 8-0 deficit early on, but came all the way back to make it an 8-7 game. Unable to complete the comeback, but games like that really build your confidence. You know that you can put runs on the board. Obviously, they lost to Ocean State, and some of these games were easily decided by that 1 run, so they feel like they're in every game they play, and hopefully that confidence carries over.
Dave, both of these teams are 1-3 heading into tonight's contest. For Newport right now, they're hitting .164 as a club. That's the second worst in the NECBL. Offensively, what have you seen from them?
I've been seeing a lot of late in count situations for some of our guys. What I'd like to see tonight is getting out in the game early and getting runs on the board early on. Gulls have had a hard time doing that, and they've been behind in the game. Other teams have been able to score on them early. I'd like to see them push the envelope a little bit and play a little more aggressively, especially on the base pass.
And again, this team did defeat Upper Valley a few nights ago. Looking at that game, is that a game that you think Newport should try and replicate as this season goes on?
Yeah, it was an all-around good game. They got a lot of production from their interior guys in the lineup, like we talked about in the broadcast. And, they're guys that have been playing well. Cameron Meisner doing a great job of kind of facilitating that offense. And their bullpen, really, is what gave them the lead, going 4 innings, giving up no runs. So they really had a complete game there. It'd be nice to replicate that here tonight.
Now, tonight's contest, very interesting. Mystic eliminated Newport last year in the 2016 Southern Division Championship Series. Dave, do you think that adds a little extra something here to tonight's ball game?
Yeah, certainly. And these guys are pretty close. It's about a 45-minute ride from Mystic to Newport, so it definitely adds a little bit. There are a lot of new faces, so I don't know how many returners are still going to be feeling that sting from losing. But, the organization, they kind of take the burden from the guys of last year. And look for them to be a little hungrier tonight at the plate especially.
Newport looking to rebound after their 5-1 loss at Vermont this past Saturday. Mystic trying to grab their second win of the season after a 4-3 win over Plymouth last night. Should be a fantastic ball game here on Newport Gulls Scholarship Night. It's the Gulls and the Schooners. First pitch set for 6:35. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next. Welcome back here on the Newport Gulls pregame show. It is time for the Manager's Show. I'm Darren Zaslow here, joined alongside second-year manager of the Newport Gulls, Al Leyva. And Al, a 1-3 start for this Newport team. Talk me through these first 4 games, and what have you seen from this team so far?
What I've seen from them is they don't give up. I think we score most of our runs either in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, which means that they don't give up. And, that's how, if you can get them to keep fighting, until that last out, that's going to go a long way towards the end of the season.
Currently, this Newport team is hitting .164. That's the second worst in the league. Do you credit that to just growing pains here early on?
Yeah, when you have only 4 of your players here, and the rest are, 10 players. And, the 10 players, they're great guys, but, they might have shut it down knowing they weren't going out. So, and then all of a sudden they get a call. So they're getting right in the fire. So, it takes a while for hitters to get going, their timing. And I think that's what we're seeing with those guys, as well as even our first 4 guys. So, it just takes a little time, and then we're ready to rock and roll.
Both teams are 1-3 entering play tonight. Last year, Mystic eliminated Newport in the Southern Division Championship Series en route to eventually winning the NECBL. Does that add a little extra spice to this matchup here tonight?
It's not where you start, it's where you finish. I was just telling one of our players that I think last year they were 3-0 here against us, and we were 3-0 at their place. And unfortunately, we went 0-2 against them at their, in the playoffs. So, last year's last year, this year's this year, and that's how you got to look at it.
We'll see what the Newport Gulls can do here tonight. They host the Mystic Schooners here on Newport Gulls Scholarship Night at 6:35 p.m. For the manager of the Newport Gulls, Al Leyva, I'm Darren Zaslow. Newport Gulls baseball is coming your way next.
And stay connected by following the NECBL on all of our social media channels. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/NECBL. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the NECBL, and follow the NECBL on YouTube.
The New England Collegiate Baseball League is the most competitive brand of amateur wooden bat summer baseball in the country. With 13 teams spread through 6 New England states and over 125 Major League Baseball alumni, the league entertains our region from June through August each and every summer. Student athletes who come from all parts of the country partner with some of the region's most scenic communities to offer summer baseball at its finest. For current team information, rosters, and schedules, visit the NECBL online at necbl.com. The NECBL, keep your eye on the dream.
Fans, swing the same bat that your favorite NECBL players bring to the ballpark each night. Dream Bat Company has been producing quality baseball products since 2005 and is proud to be the official bat of the NECBL. Head to dreambats.com and enter coupon code NECBL for 20% off your entire online purchase. Don't forget to follow Dream Bat on Twitter for updates and flash sales at Dream Bat Company. Dream Bat, the official bat of the NECBL.
New Era Caps, the preferred cap of the NECBL. Show your support by visiting the souvenir stand at your next game and become a part of your favorite team. New Era Caps, the preferred cap of the NECBL.
Wear what Major League Baseball and the NECBL wear. New Era Caps, the preferred cap of the NECBL. Show your support by visiting the souvenir stand at your next game and become a part of your favorite team. New Era Caps, the preferred cap of the NECBL.
Welcome back to the ballpark here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. How you doing, everybody? We're just about ready for baseball, and before we get ready for first pitch, Jack, why don't you take us through what this Mystic Schooner starting lineup looks like?
Yeah, Nick Michelli is going to be leading things off at second base. John Truesdale, number 2, at third. The designated hitter, Brett Bond, at third. T.T. Bones, the first baseman, the cleanup spot. Vinny Polisco out in left field. Brian Ray in center. Chris Winkle at right field. Matt O'Neill at catcher. And at the 9 hole is Garrett Griffin, the shortstop.
Thank you so much, Jack. And on the mound for the Newport Gulls here tonight, they are going to go to the right-hander. It is Trevor Tinder. Tinder 6'4", 205 pounds, out of Georgia. For the Bulldogs this past season, he had a 0-0 record. He made 5 appearances, did not make a start, had a 2.45 ERA in 3.2 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 6 hits, gave up 1 earned run. We'll see what Tinder can do. And for the Newport Gulls starting lineup, it looks like this for second-year manager Al Leyva. Leading off in center field is Drew Archiolo from Fairfield. Cameron Meisner is in left field. He's from Missouri. He bats second as well. Tyler Green is the third baseman out of Vanderbilt, hitting in the number 3 spot. The cleanup hitter is Liam O'Regan. He's in right field from Elon. Batting fifth is Cade Cabanis in his Newport Gulls debut. He's the designated hitter from Oklahoma State. At first base is Liam McGill from Columbia. He bats sixth.
Stay tuned for the
In the number 7 spot is Nicholas Raposo, the catcher from Wheaton College. Hitting eighth, Michael Webb, the second baseman from Rhode Island College. And rounding out the Newport lineup is Kevin Heiss, the shortstop from the University of Rhode Island. Jack, why don't you talk about who the Gulls will be facing on the mound here tonight for the Schooners?
They're going to be going up against Ronald Grant. Grant, a freshman at Central Connecticut State University last year, hasn't made an NECBL start yet. This will be his first of the league year. Had a so-so debut in the collegiate ranks, posted a 5.54 ERA with 4 wins and 2 losses. Not a great start, but you know, for a freshman, that's not too bad. Started 12 games, pitched over 66.2 innings and 45 Ks over that span. So he's looking to continue his growth here in the New England Collegiate Baseball League, and hopefully we see some of that progression here tonight.
Tonight's umpires behind the dish is David Speranza. At first is Tom Carey, and also another field umpire here tonight doing some work at third, Will Bowers. David Speranza, Tom Carey, Will Bowers. Your weather here in the city by the sea, 75 degrees and sunny. As you can see, the American flag waving there down the right field line. We'll be coming back with first pitch. Don't go anywhere. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Fans. Welcome back here to the ballpark, as digging in for Mystic is the second baseman, Nick Micheli. He takes a fastball downstairs and a tad outside for ball 1. Tinder there on the mound winds and deals the 1-0. Fastball fouled straight back, 1-1. We'll quickly take you through the defensive alignment here for the Newport Gulls. From left to right around the Newport infield, Tyler Green mans the hot corner. He's at third. Kevin Heiss is at shortstop. At second base is Michael Webb with Liam McGill at first. Tender winds and fires the next pitch. It's a fastball that's in there on the outside corner for strike 2. From left to right around that Newport outfield, Cameron Meisner is in left. Drew Archiolo is in center. Liam O'Regan is in right, with Nicholas Raposo catching the balls and strikes from Tinder. 1-2 to Micheli, runs wide, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Your field dimensions here at the ballpark, down the left field line, 315 feet, 365 to left center. To deep center field, it's 395. That's a poke to get one out of there. In right center field, it is 340, and it's 285 down the right field line, as Micheli just got a piece of the 2-2 offering. He stays alive. Newport dressed in their home white uniforms with Gulls written in blue from left to right. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are blue as well. White pants, a blue and orange stripe down the side. Some players wear the high royal blue socks. Get you Mystics uniforms here in just a moment. 2-2 offering from Tinder. Fastball, strike 3 called outside corner. Great pitch from Trevor Tinder, 1 away. Jack, what a fantastic pitch. That, again, a big out, understanding how good Micheli has been here early on.
Absolutely. Take off the lead out man. Micheli is fantastic. You saw he had some words for the home plate umpire after that one. Thought it was a little low, but just caught the bottom of that strike zone. It was Tinder.
Mystic, they are dressed in their road baby blue jerseys. The sleeves on the jersey are gray. First pitch to John Truesdale is fouled off left side. It's 0-1. Truesdale, the third baseman for the Schooners out of Alabama. Mystic is written in black from left to right. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are white, outlined in black, and the Schooners also wear gray pants. Next pitch, a changeup, misses high and away from Tinder. It is 1-1. But again, Jack, you know, you look at these teams both struggling offensively here early on. That's been a big issue.
Definitely. They haven't been able to consistently put runs on the board. Mystic, you thought they were going to have a big offensive year with that 7-run opener against Plymouth, which they ultimately lost. But not a lot of the same here. They haven't scored more than 3 runs in a game since that opener, and they're looking to turn things around. They want to get runners on base and consistently move them around, as Truesdale has a nice opener to that, but great diving effort by the first baseman. It's Liam McGill.
How about the diving stop there by McGill? He took it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted if you're keeping score with us at home. We'll see what the designated hitter, Brett Bond, can do out of Missouri.
Yeah, Brett Bond, a catcher of Missouri, got himself on the Johnny Bench Award watch list. As an all-star for the Schooners last year. Kind of been having a down season. Going into yesterday, he was only hitting 125, but he upped that to 167 on the year with a huge homer to tie things up against the Plymouth Pilgrims.
Tinder kicks and fires the first pitch. It's a curveball. That one's a called strike at the letters. It's 0-1 on Brett Bond.
That was a pretty pitch. Came up high and then curled back into the strike zone to fool Bond.
Bond, a 167 hitter entering the ball game. Swings it from the right side. Next pitch. Front door curveball taken downstairs and a tad outside, 1-1. Bond swings an all-black bat. The tape on his wrists are white. Black and white batting gloves, that back foot on the back line in the right-handed batter's box. 1-1 fastball taken shoulder high, 2-1.
And Bond had a great year as a junior a year ago. Set career highs in batting average at .307, slugging percentage at .507, and his OBP was a .385.
Top 1, 2 away. Scoreless ball game thus far with the bases empty. This one skied in the air, deep left center field. Giving chase is Archiolo along with Meisner, and it's off the fence. Around first, heading for second is Bond. He'll pull in there ahead of the throw from Archiolo. The 2-out double off the bat of Brett Bond. Jack, that's a great piece of hitting.
It absolutely was, and the Schooners have yet to play in a ballpark with fences this high. As you can see, they reach all the way up to the houses out there in the outfield. So Bond coming around that first base, kind of slowed a little bit. Thought he might have a flyout, but once he saw it bounce off the chain link fence, was able to hustle in there for a double.
Here comes T.T. Bowens, first baseman out of Central Connecticut State. He's hitting 200 on the season, 1 RBI, 3 walks, has also struck out 3 times. Swings an all-tan bat. First pitch, a hard fastball from Tinder. A strike called on the outer third, 0-1. Top half of the first. We're still scoreless here at Cardians Field in Newport, Rhode Island. 2 away, a runner on second, and Brett Bond, who just doubled off the left center field fence.
T.T. Bowens got his first hit on June 10th against Ocean State. Was a homer, a solo blast, and showing some of that power there again as he sends that one over to the warehouse.
Line that ball just foul down that right field line. It's 0-2. And we'll see what Tinder decides to go with here. Waiting on deck for Mystic is the left fielder, Vinny Polisco out of UConn.
And Polisco was the game-scoring run in the game yesterday, as that one's a pass ball. Will allow Bond to easily jog into third. Now we got a runner right 90 feet away from run number 1 for these Schooners.
Trying to take an early lead here. Tinder works from the first base side of the rubber, tucks that black glove near his left shoulder as he gets the sign from Raposo. Sets at the letters. Long pause on the mound, whistle, check that stoppage in play as the umpire behind home plate, David Speranza, called time as Bowens stepped out of the box. Tinder sets at the chest, 1-2 pitch, skied in the air. Straightaway center field. Archiola moves over a couple steps to his left. Now roams back, reaches up, puts it away, frame over. Nice job by Tinder to work around a 2-out double. For Mystic, they get no runs on 1 hit, leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. The Gulls will take their first swings of the evening. When we come back, we are scoreless here at Cardians Field, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Hey fans, you know
we go to the bottom half of inning number 1. We are scoreless here at Cardians Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, and Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. I am Darren Zaslow. And before we get things going, Jack, why don't you take us through the starting defensive alignment for the 1-3 Mystic Schooners?
Well, going left to right in the infield, it'll be John Truesdale from the University of Alabama at third base, Garrett Griffin from Mitchell College at shortstop, Nick Michelli from Wagner College at second, T.T. Bowens from Central Connecticut State University at first base. Out in the outfield, you have Vinny Polisco, the left fielder from UConn. In center field is Brian Ray from Miami-Dade College. And in right field is Chris Winkle, also of UConn. Behind the plate will be Matt O'Neill, the catcher from the University of Pennsylvania. And the pitcher, Ron Grant from Central Connecticut State University.
And we'll see what Grant can do. He will face off against the top of the order for the Gulls. Drew Archiolo, Cameron Meisner, Tyler Green, all due up for Newport here in the frame. As Archiolo digs in, he's batting .313 on the year. He's 5 for 16 through 4 games. First pitch from the southpaw. Grant is a fastball. That's a strike called on the outside corner. 0-1 to Archiolo.
A nice average to start the year from Archiolo, .313, looking good, but wants to probably pick those power numbers up a little bit. Only one extra base hit.
0-1 chopped left side, gloved by Truesdale. Sets his feet, throw to first, one away, 5-3. Archiolo is retired to start things for Newport. It brings up the left fielder, Cameron Meisner, and Jack, he has been great so far. He's 5 for 14, a .357 clip. A walk and just one strikeout. Again, for an offensive team that's struggling here, Meisner has been a highlight so far. He bats from the left side out of Missouri.
Well, Meisner, a teammate of Schooners' designated hitter Brett Bond at the University of Missouri, had an outstanding freshman campaign, hit .282 with 7 homers, 12 doubles, and a triple.
Looked at an outside corner fastball right there. It's 0-1. Stands with a slightly open stance, swings an all-black bat. Next pitch, curveball skipped in the dirt. It's 1-1. Meisner holds those hands about letter high, a little lower than most hitters on this team do. But if you watch him in batting practice, that ball flies off of Meisner's bat. It is certainly something to see.
Absolutely, he's got 2 doubles to his name this year, and might have another here. Great fair ball, and yes, he will, as that one rolls into the bullpen.
It's an automatic ground rule double, as the left fielder Polisco will throw it back in. A 1-out double for Cameron Meisner brings up the third baseman Tyler Green out of Vanderbilt. We're still scoreless. Bottom half of the first. The runner on second, 1 away for Green.
Tyler Green, a big kid out of Vanderbilt, stands at 6'6", and he looks every inch of that.
He fills out that entire frame, that is for sure. And Green from Williamsville in New York stands tall from that right side, swings a black-barreled bat, a tan handle. He'll line this one in the left field. It'll get down, a base hit. They're going to wave home Meisner. Here comes the throw from the left fielder, Polisco. It's not in time. Around first, heading for second is Green. He will pull in there. It's a 1-out RBI single off the bat of Tyler Green to give Newport a 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the first. Great piece of hitting there, Jack, and Meisner with tons of speed. You knew he was going to get waved home, and Newport already with a couple hits here to start out the ball game.
Absolutely, a very pretty hit by Green. Got it right on the barrel of his bat, sent it into left field, and an easy score by Meisner. He showed his speed as he trucked around the bases coming in from second.
In steps Liam O'Regan. He'll take a fastball below the knees. It is 1-0 on O'Regan, who's batting .154 this season.
And if you're the Schooners, this is exactly what you didn't want. Let the other team get on the board early. Now, once again, you're playing catch-up.
Wears a black elbow guard on that front side elbow, the blue wrist tape, 1-0 pitch. Foul tipped into the mitt of O'Neill, and it's 1-1. Waiting on deck is Cade Cabanis, who is ready to make his first plate appearance as a Newport Gull. Designated hitter out of Oklahoma State.
Liam O'Regan hitting 154 on this year with a homer and 1 double. So he's got some power behind that bat. That one was a bit inside.
2 balls and 1 strike to O'Regan. Taking his lead off of second base is Tyler Green, who singled and advanced to second base on the throw from the left fielder Poliska. Grant works from the third base side of the rubber, sets the black glove about shoulder high, 2-1. This is high and wide. 3 balls and 1 strike on Liam O'Regan, the right fielder out of Elon.
You know, I bet you if Grant walks O'Regan here, you're going to see O'Neill visit with his pitcher. O'Neill very good about trying to slow the tempo of the game down for his pitchers. Wants to talk to him about everything. You know, these guys are playing with each other for the first time this year.
O'Regan, the cleanup hitter, digs back into the right side, 3-1. Fastball fouled straight back. The count pushes full to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice job by Grant, giving something O'Regan to swing at. Able to load this count up after going down in that 3-1 hole.
It's Grant against O'Regan. Grant, the southpaw out of Central Connecticut State, gets his sign from O'Neill. Likes what he sees. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on strikes goes Liam O'Regan for the second out of the inning.
Fantastic strikeout by Grant, and hopefully that's the first step to holding that runner over there in scoring position at second. Grant, a young guy, only going into his sophomore year, so some pre-game jitters, perhaps, making their way out into the opening inning of this game, trying to calm things down, and what better way to do it than with a strikeout?
Well, as most of you probably know, the MLB draft starts tonight as Cabanis takes a big hack and a miss. A first pitch from Grant. It is 0-1. Cabanis was drafted last year in the 21st round by the St. Louis Cardinals. This year at Oklahoma State, in 40 games played, he hit .279, also made 31 starts. Had 7 triples, check that, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. Next pitch on the way. Fastball in there, strike 2, right at the knees on the outer corner. 0-2 on Cade Cabanis.
Great job by Grant. You allowed that run, and he's not allowing that to stick in his head. He struck out the next batter and now has a 0-2 lead here in this next at-bat.
Cabanis was also a wide receiver at Bixby High School. 0-2. Changeup runs wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was a close pitch there from Grant, Jack.
It was, and a smart pitch, too. You saw Cabanis took a big cut low and outside on that first pitch, and so he sent him something else to swing at, and you know he holds up wisely, but nice placement and a good idea.
1-2 fastball, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Down looking goes Cabanis. It's the second strikeout in a row and in the inning for the starter for Mystic in Ronald Grant. But Newport does scratch across a run. They do it on a couple hits and leave 1 aboard. Mystic will try and answer in the top half of the second. It's a 1-0 Newport lead right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxow, the voice of the Schooners Jack Almer, and Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. I am Darren Zaslow. Before we get things going here in the top of the second inning, we want to pause quickly for station identification. This is the Newport Gulls radio network.
TV18 Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD. This is Newport Gulls Baseball on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
I'd like to welcome you back here into the ballpark as for Mystic, leading off for the Schooners is the number 5 hitter, Vinny Polisco, the left fielder out of Yukon. Took the first pitch he saw in the dirt from Trevor Tinder, and it's 1-0.
And Nicholas Raposo immediately going out to talk to Tinder after that pitch in the dirt. Wonder if there was a miscommunication between the two.
1-0 again, misses downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes to Polisco.
Polisco hitting 333 on the year with 2 runs scored and almost winds that one fair down the first baseline. Polisco, actually a former NECBL intern, worked for the New Bedford Bay Sox last year.
How about that?
Now playing.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Polisco. Tinder kicks and deals. This one grounded weakly up the middle. To his left goes Heiss. Shuffles twice, throw to first is low, and a nice dig by McGill on the back end, 1 away. 6-3. Polisco is retired. It brings up the number 6 hitter and center fielder in Brian Ray out of Miami-Dade.
Brian Ray, a fantastic hitter out of Miami-Dade. He hit .404 last year with just an incredible .450 OBP. He was outstanding. Hasn't seen those numbers really carry over into this NECBL season yet, hitting just .188 on the year, but got things started with a home run against Plymouth yesterday, and he's hoping to build on those numbers tonight.
Tinder drops in a curveball for strike 1. This one laced foul down the first base line. It is 0-2. Some interesting facts here about Cardines Field. Well, first of all, hockey-style dugouts are located down the first base line. The Gulls dugout is closer located towards home plate, with the Schooners dugout being more towards first base, and a check swing on a downstairs and away fastball from Ray. First base umpire Tom Carey says he did not go, so the count now 1-2 on the Miami-Dade center fielder, Brian Ray.
I don't know about that one. It looked like Ray might have gone, but you can hear the crowd reaction. They kind of agreed with me.
0-2 waved at and missed for strike 3. It's a great changeup there from Tinder, his second strikeout of the night. Brings up the number 7 hitter and right fielder out of Yukon, Chris Winkle.
You mentioned those hockey-style dugouts. I was riding the bus up here from Mystic, Connecticut, and assistant coach Steve Leonetti was warning some of his players on the bus that those hockey-style dugouts can make for a lot of chirping between two teams.
A lot of talking back and forth for sure. Winkle chops this one weakly foul behind the dish. It is 0-1. Winkle this season, 3 for 18, a 167 clip. Has scored 1 run, has a couple RBI this season, and has struck out 5 times.
And he's another tall kid, stands at 6'4".
Hits from the left side. This one chopped to second. Gloved on 3 hops by Webb. He will throw out Winkle to end the frame. It's a perfect frame from Trevor Tinder. Sets down Mystic 1, 2, 3. Let's go to the bottom half of the second. Newport still leads here early on, 1-0, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we go to the bottom half of inning number 2. It's a 1-0 Newport lead over the Mystic Schooners. Hitters 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Gulls. Liam McGill, Nicholas Raposo, Michael Webb will all try and go to work against Mystic starting left-hander in Ronald Grant out of Central Connecticut State. McGill digs in, takes a fastball high and inside for ball 1.
And what a weird inning it was for Grant. Had a nice ground out to start, but then led up back-to-back hits and finished off with back-to-back strikeouts.
McGill 0 for 16, 1-0. Sinking liner to the second baseman, picked up by Michelli. He throws out McGill for the first out of the frame.
And that's what you got to do if you're Grant. You're facing a batter who has yet to find a hit in this NECBL season, and to get back on track and find your confidence, especially a younger guy, like we mentioned, just a sophomore, getting that first out on him is big.
Nicholas Raposo will dig in. He's behind the dish here tonight out of Wheaton College. And Raposo, again, bats from the right side, swings an all-black bat, squares around the bunt, and pulls back as the pitch rises above the letters. It's 1-0 on Raposo.
Interesting bunt flash in this situation. Nobody on with 1 out.
Third baseman Truesdale plays even with that third base bag. The 1-0 from the southpaw Grant. Fastball runs off the inner edge of the plate, 2-0.
Truesdale, an interesting choice to bunt on out of the University of Alabama. Didn't have the best year, just his freshman campaign, but was rated as one of the top prospects coming out of Alabama in high school. A top 25 overall prospect by Perfect Game USA and a top 5 at the shortstop position.
2-0 fastball catches the inner edge, now 2-1 on Raposo. 1 away here in the bottom half of the second. The base is empty. It's a 1-0 Newport lead. Grant holds the black glove in front of his face. He winds and deals. This one's skied in the air, right side of the infield. The first baseman, Bowens, is under it. He reaches up and makes the grab, 2 down. So here comes Michael Webb, the second baseman from Rhode Island College. Webb this season is 1 for 12. He's struck out 7 times. He's played some nice defense. Wears a black ankle guard on that front side foot. A black elbow guard on the front elbow with blue wrist tape. His black and white batting gloves, and swings an all-black bat.
And those 7 strikeouts you mentioned is a big number here in the early goings of this year. Struck out on all 3 of his at-bats against Plymouth in that 1-2 loss. So you'd like to see him make a little bit more contact going forward.
Takes a strike called on the inner edge. It's 0-1 on Webb. Has bent knees in the box. Slightly open stance. He will look at a curveball that misses just off the inner edge. 1-1. The back foot is on the back line in the left-handed batter's box, which is beginning to wear away here in the ball game. 1-1 to Webb. Fouled off left side, 2-1. The shadows are creeping along the third base line towards the mound. Couple other interesting features here at Cardines Field. 2 deep triangles in this ballpark due to the construction of these fences in a certain way that creates this triangular space out there. It's in center field and right center field. As Webb looks at a fastball away. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you wonder if Grant is aware of the high strikeout number by Webb. Not a whole lot of scouting reports going on in the NECBL, and with players coming in and off rosters, it's hard to judge just based on their bios on the website who's gonna play from day to day.
This one hop to the second baseman, Michelli. He will throw out Webb to end the frame. It's the second play in the inning made by Michelli. And that's how Newport goes down. 1, 2, 3. It's a perfect frame from Ronald Grant. Mystic starting left-hander out of Central Connecticut State. Sends us to the top half of the third. Your score, Newport 1, Mystic nothing here on Newport Gulls Scholarship Night at the ballpark. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Where what Major League
about ready for more NECBL action here as we head to the top half of inning number 3. Alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, and Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. I am Darren Zaslow. For the Schooners, they will send up hitters 8, 9, and 1. Matthew O'Neill, Garrett Griffin, Nick Michelli going to try and crack into this 1-0 lead. As Tinder, thus far for Newport, has done a nice job throwing 2 scoreless frames. He'll throw a fastball high and inside on O'Neill, the catcher out of the University of Pennsylvania. It's 1-0.
O'Neill's been playing all around for the Schooners this year. Did some DHing, played first base in their home opener, and this is his second game behind the dish.
1-0 fastball taken down and a tad outside. 2 balls and no strikes on O'Neill.
O'Neill also with some big strikeout numbers, has 6 Ks through just 3 games this year.
2-0 taken again, down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Tinder falls behind the number 8 hitter, O'Neill.
Showing a good eye at this at bat, only 1 base on balls. And he's just gonna have another one.
Deals a high fastball there for ball 4. So there you go. It's a leadoff walk for Matthew O'Neill. And it brings up the number 9 hitter in Garrett Griffin.
And Tinder breaking one of the cardinal rules of pitchers. Don't want to walk guys at the bottom of batting orders. You know you're going to see Nick Michelli, who's swinging a really hot bat sometime this inning, and you don't want to put runners on base for him to knock in.
So we'll see what Griffin can do, the shortstop out of Mitchell College. O'Neill takes his lead off of first. First pitch from Tinder misses above the letters. 1-0 on Griffin.
And we mentioned a few times in this broadcast the injury to starting shortstop Rich Chufo. Chufo took a awkward landing on a ground ball and unfortunately will be a complete tear of his ACL. He'll be out for the year. Schooners did sign him for next season though, and he was just tremendous defensively all over the field. Made an outstanding diving catch to end an inning against Plymouth yesterday, and Garrett Griffin trying to fill those shoes.
Tinder works out of the stretch. The black glove set letter high, 1-0. Big hack and a miss. Strike 1 on Garrett Griffin. Tinder thus far for the Gulls has thrown 19 strikes and 14 balls. So thus far, 33 pitches for Tinder through 2 innings of work.
Garrett Griffin just 1 hit so far in this NECBL season.
This one lifted off in the air to the right side. It'll get out of play, and Tinder ahead of Griffin here. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
In 36 games started for Mitchell College last year, Griffin hit an incredible .496 batting average with a .556 OBP. That's the highest 2 numbers in those categories by any Schooner at the collegiate level.
O'Neill led off the frame with a 4-pitch walk. 1-2 fastball taken just below the knees. Count evens at 2-2 on the number 9 hitter Griffin out of Mitchell College.
And Chufo, prior to going down with that injury, had not notched an NECBL hit. Was known mostly for his defensive prowess at that shortstop position. They're hoping Griffin can give them something in the offense.
2-2 check swing, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Another strikeout here for Trevor Tinder. It's Tinder's 3rd strikeout of the night. Brings back up the top of the order in the second baseman, Nick Michelli out of Wagner. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Nick Michelli, a very cerebral baseball player. He's going to learn from that first strikeout and anticipate pitches a little bit better.
Bats from the right side, swings an all-black bat. Slightly open stance, leans actually backwards as Tinder winds and deals. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, an interesting stance by Michelli. He leans that bat on his right shoulder, and then when the pitch comes, jerks forward. It's an interesting motion.
0-1. Curveball, this one hit in the air, deep left center field. It sends Archiolo and Meisner back, and it's off the fence. Around second, heading for third is O'Neill. Right behind him into second base is Michelli with a 1-out double here in the top half of the third. It puts runners on second and third for the Schooners.
And interesting but effective. Michelli got all of that one, sent it off the fence, and cruising in for a double, advances O'Neill over there to third base, and now Schooners 2 runners in scoring position for the young John Truesdale.
Truesdale 0 for 1 with a ground out to first in the first inning. He bats from the left side.
And that ground out was very close to getting past the first baseman, Liam McGill. But McGill, a great diving effort, able to tag out Truesdale.
Third baseman Green plays even with the bag as Tinder deals a fastball wide for a ball. Your score here in the top half of the third, it's Newport 1, Mystic nothing, 1 away. And runners on second and third here for the Schooners. They are threatening. Truesdale with that back elbow shoulder high. He will sky this one foul left side. It gets out of play. And the count now 1-1 on the Alabama third baseman.
And if you're Truesdale, if Tinder gives you something to hit, absolutely have the green light and go for it. But your main objective here is just to lift something deep in the outfield and give your runner, Matt O'Neill, a chance at third to tag, come home, and tie this game up.
Tinder sets the black glove letter high. Off of second is Michelli, off of third is O'Neill, as Truesdale will step out of the batter's box. Has that back foot a couple inches in front of the back line in the left-handed batter's box. Tinder sets and fires. A hard fastball runs wide. Now 2-1.
Truesdale has really come on as of late, was just in the 220 range on his OBP and batting average, but has upped his OBP to 385 and his average to 273 in the last couple games. Really starting to find his groove here in the NACBL.
2-1 in there for a strike. And the count now evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both teams thus far have 2 hits apiece. They have played a clean slate of defense so far. The Mystic here threatening. This is a big spot here for Tinder. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Georgia versus Alabama, a battle of the SEC, as Truesdale will step out and call time.
What a big-time rivalry here.
How about that?
Playing out in the New England Collegiate Baseball League.
Center fielder Archiolo shades to his right, to the left of the second base bag, towards left center field. Tinder deals the break-even offering. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big pitch for Tinder. There's 2 away.
Tinder definitely fooled Truesdale there. Went way outside, and Truesdale was left reaching across the plate and came up with nothing.
4th strikeout of the contest for Trevor Tinder. And it brings up the number 3 hitter in Brett Bond. He's 1 for 1 with a double. Probably one of the guys you want up in this spot here, Jack.
Absolutely, an NECBL All-Star last year. I mentioned earlier, he struggled in the early goings of the season, but had a huge 2-run homer in the last game against Plymouth to tie things up before Mystic eventually went on to win it. So a great hitter, and a guy who can definitely even things up for the Schooners.
Tinder misses with his first offering, low and away to Bond. It's 1-0. Off of second is Michelli, he doubled. Off of third is O'Neill, he walked. The 1-0 pitch fouled straight back towards us here in the broadcast booth. It is 1-1 on Bond, the number 3 hitter in the Schooners lineup.
And that caused the mascot climbing down the stairs to jump a little bit as that foul ball hit the fencing straight in front of him.
Tinder holds the ball behind his back as he gets the sign from Raposo. 1-1. Sharp ground ball, picked on a hop by the first baseman, McGill. He will take it to the bag himself. Frame over for Trevor Tinder. It's a great job by the University of Georgia right-hander to work around a double and a walk. For Mystic, they get no runs on 1 hit, leave 2 aboard with no Newport errors. We will go to the bottom half of the 3rd. It's Newport 1, Mystic nothing. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
But hold on to those white raffle tickets.
As we go to the bottom half of inning number 3, your score, Newport 1, Mystic 0. I'm going to throw things over to Gulls field reporter Dave Peck for a look around the NECBL scoreboard. How you doing, Dave?
Good, Darren. Good to talk to you. Right now, 5 games in the NECBL going on. In the top of the 3rd, New Bedford has the lead against the Plymouth Pilgrims. Ocean State Waves up against the Danbury Westerners at Rogers Park in Danbury. They're in the top of the 4th. First place, North Adams Steeplecats are up 3-2 against the Valley Blue Sox in the top of the 3rd inning. And the Upper Valley Knights are hanging on to a 1-run lead. It's 2-1 against Sanford. They're also in the top of the 4th. And of course here, Darren, Newport Gulls hanging on to a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
Thanks so much, Dave. And again, a very close ball game here. Both teams have 2 hits in this one. Newport will send up hitters 9, 1, and 2 to face Ronald Grant as Kevin Heiss steps in. Offers the bunt and then pulls back as the pitch was crossing the plate. Nice job there by Heiss to see that one downstairs. It's 1-0. Dave, your thoughts thus far on this Newport offense? A couple hits, but most importantly, an early 1-0 lead.
Oh.
as Heiss swings and lets the bat fly out of his hands. It's 1-1. But what do you think so far of this offense? Are you liking what you're seeing here early on?
Yeah, aggressive early. Meisner going opposite way. Good piece of hitting, putting it down the left field line to get a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the first. And then a green light swing by Green. First pitch, like what he saw, put it right over the shortstop head for the RBI. Get up early, let the pitcher work with a lead. That's what we like to see.
And as you saw there on that replay, that bat went flying out of Heiss's hands. He'll ground this one to short. Shuffling to his right is Griffin. High throw, gets by the first baseman, Bowens. It'll ricochet off the side wall. And you have to assume that's going to be an error on Griffin, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Heiss reaches on the error by the shortstop. And that brings back up the top of the order in Drew Archiolo. Jack, looked like Griffin had time there, just may have overthrown that one. And again, in baseball sometimes that's what happens when you have so much time to think about it. You lose sight of where you're throwing the baseball.
Absolutely. T.T. Bowens over at first base is a tall guy, but not that tall. Griffin sailed that one over his head. And a tough break because, you know, we've said it so many times. Chufo over there was so fantastic defensively, and it's a bad start for Mitchell, but you know, he's great offensively, and hopefully those skills kind of transfer over, and he settles things down as he gets more time at the shortstop position here for the Schooners.
Grant's first pitch missed low for a ball. It's 1-0. Heiss with a big lead off of first. Next pitch to Archiolo. This one drilled deep right field. Sends Winkle back to the fence, and it's off the fence. Around second, heading for third is Heiss. He will pull in there, and Archiolo right behind him slides in with a no-out double here in the bottom half of the third. Puts runners on second and third for the Newport Gulls. Left fielder Cameron Meisner. Great job there from Archiolo. And Newport in business here, Jack. And, you know, if you're a Schooners fan, you're hoping that error doesn't come back to haunt you by the shortstop Griffin. But right now for the Gulls, it's really just focusing on situational hitting. And for Mystic, damage control right now.
Yeah, Grant had retired the last 5 batters he'd faced before the error and your double there. So wants to get back into the swing of things, and not a great start as he throws that one in the dirt. But credit Nick Michelli. Kind of it won't go down in the scorebook as anything, but he did a great job leaping and grabbing that throw from the outfield by Chris Winkle. If he had let that one get past him, this might be a 2-0 lead.
Certainly, as Grant skips a curveball in the dirt. That one dealt 58 feet. It is 1-0 on Meisner, who bats with an open stance from the left side. 1-0 pitch. Changeup. Strike one called. It is now 1-1. Of course, it is Newport Gulls scholarship night here at the ballpark, and throughout our 17-year existence, the Gulls have strived to benefit the youth of Newport County while preparing student athletes for the next step in their professional and personal lives. And the Gulls have tirelessly worked to provide the best family-friendly entertainment possible for the inhabitants of Aquidneck Island and the rest of the Ocean State, as Meisner looks at a breaking ball that runs just off the outer edge to push the count to 2-1.
Good eye by Meisner. That one was outside a little bit, and he sat on that one wisely.
Here at Scholarship Night, the Gulls have asked local high school baseball and softball players to submit an application to receive a scholarship towards their college education. 2-1 pitch in there now, 2-2 on Meisner with no one out and runners on second and third. And the Gulls will be giving out 5 scholarships to highly qualified students. The Gulls have also contributed more than 100 scholarships to worthy local youth to attend Newport Gulls summer camps throughout Aquidneck Island. 2-2. One hopper to the first baseman, Bowens. He will try and throw behind to grab Heiss, and now caught him between second and third is Archiolo. So it's going to go down as a very interesting fielder's choice here. It's going to go 3 to 5 to 4 as Archiolo is tagged out. As Meisner reaches on that fielder's choice. Runners are on first and third for the third baseman, Tyler Green.
Wow, some smart defensive work by T.T. Bowens. Throws over to John Truesdale at third base, hoping to keep that runner from scoring, which he does, and then Truesdale notices the runner way off the second base bag, and they're able to get him for out number 1.
Of course, we want to thank our sponsors for the summer camp scholarship program as Green skies this one in the air. Down the first base line, Bowens, Michelli, and Winkle all give chase, and it just drops in foul ground right in front of the Newport Gulls scoreboard, mounted on the warehouse down the right field line. It's 0-1 on Green, who is 1 for 1 with a single.
Wow, Green is lucky. That foul ball fell where it did. Bowens was getting ready to make a diving attempt, but once he realized he was right in front of the scoreboard, knew he couldn't without potentially seriously injuring himself, and that ball lands just in front of him.
We do want to thank those sponsors for the summer camp scholarship program: Lori Haley, Walmart, Island Wine and Spirits, Ben & Jerry's, Newport Fed Foundation, as Green looks at a changeup that runs low and away, 1-1. Forster Orthodontics, Land Development Engineering and Consulting, Preservation Society of Newport County, Starbucks, Middletown Rotary Club, and E. Francis Paper. We do thank you for sponsoring the Newport Gulls Summer Camp Scholarship Program, as the next pitch to Green misses, 2 balls and 1 strike. Off of first is Meisner. He reached on a 3-5-4 fielder's choice. And off of third is Kevin Heiss. He reached on an error by the shortstop to lead off the frame. 1-0 Newport, 1 away, bottom 3, as Meisner is caught leaning there, and he will be picked off by Grant. Nice tag by Bowens, 2 away.
Wow, not sure what Meisner was thinking. He saw Grant, made eye contact with him, knew Grant was looking over in that direction. Just an easy throw over to first gets him out.
So an inning that looked very promising for this Newport offense. It's now up to Green here with a runner on third and Kevin Heist. 2 away.
Fantastic resilience by Ronald Grant really throughout this game. He gave up back-to-back hits, one of which
2-1 drill deep left field. Back on it to his right is Polisco. He will put it away, and the inning is over.
One of which was that run-scoring double, but comes back with 2 strikeouts back in the first, and now able to retire the next 3 batters, and great job getting out of that inning.
So Newport puts the first 2 runners on second and third with no one out, but Grant gets out of it, picking off a runner, using a fielder's choice and a flyout for the Gulls. No runs on 1 hit, 1 left aboard on 1 Mystic error. We are through 3 full innings of play here at the ballpark. Your score, Newport 1, Mystic nothing. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here to the ballpark as we go to the top half of the 4th. It's a 1-0 Newport leading. For the play-by-play calls of innings 4, 5, and 6, here's the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer.
Thank you so much, as T.T. Bowens takes a big cut for strike 2. Great job by Ronald Grant in that last inning, really battling back to keep this a 1-0 game. He's been fantastic. He's gotten himself into some sticky situations, but able to battle back as T.T. Bowens check swings, and he'll get rung up for a strikeout.
Nice tag there by the catcher, Raposo. And Tinder here, Jack, has been sensational thus far. Throughout this ball game, he's only allowed 2 hits, both of those being doubles, 1 to Nick Michelli and 1 to Brett Bond. But again, retiring the leadoff man here for the 3rd time in 4 innings. That's big.
Yeah, and for Tinder, giving up those hits to Michelli and Brett Bond, 2 former NECBL All-Stars. Can't feel too bad about that. Those are 2 great players that just got the better of you on those occasions.
Certainly, and again, you know, it's damage control. We've talked about that here a couple times throughout the ball game.
Vinny Polisco showing a good eye as he takes ball 2. Polisco scored the game-winning run against the Plymouth Pilgrims last night. Tagged up on third, but during the Nick Michelli sacrifice fly as he takes a big cut for strike 1.
Yeah, really nice changeup that dipped right below the bat of Polisco out of UConn. Interesting righty-lefty matchup here. Tinder generally has been working away from the majority of hitters he's faced, but he's not afraid to come in either.
No, and it's been interesting to kind of see Vinny Polisco bat this year. It depends on how they announce his college, how he gets thrown to. He's actually at UConn of Avery Point, and if you say that, then pitchers will kind of come at you with some strikes. But if you say UConn, a big D1 school, they'll try to pitch around you, and he got introduced from UConn and getting some pitches outside the zone here, as he's now at 3 balls. But, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with not too many scouting reports. You're kind of just going by, where's this guy from? Or does anybody on my team know where this kid? As Polisco strikes out looking. And he shakes his head. He did not agree with that call.
6th strikeout for Tinder here, and again, he goes back to that changeup, and that starts about the middle of one's thigh and then breaks right to the knees. That is just a hard pitch to hit. Tinder has thrown that perfectly here tonight.
Now here comes Brian Ray, and that ball skips into the backstop.
Tinder thus far, 34 strikes, 23 balls.
Wow, that's an impressive ratio.
Thus far, he has thrown 57 pitches.
A nice hit by Ray right into the chest of the second baseman, Michael Webb, but it gets thrown out to first. So that's Webb to McGill, and that'll end the inning for the Mystic Schooners. They still trail 1-0 here. And you're watching the NECBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back, folks. We are back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Mystic Schooners trailing 1-0. The Newport Gulls here in the bottom of the 4th. The right fielder Liam O'Regan will lead things off for the Gulls. O'Regan 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, as Grant kicks and deals. And that is low for ball 1. Grant now approaching 50 pitches, just crossed that 45 pitch threshold on the low ball. Inside, jackknifing is O'Regan, and that'll be ball 2.
Yeah, Liam here trying to find a way to get on base for the Gulls. Here tonight, they've only put the leadoff man on first just once, and that was this past inning when Kevin Heiss reached on an error by Mystic's shortstop.
And that one, chopped foul, trickles into the backstop. O'Regan, not the best year so far, only hitting 154, but out of those 2 hits, he's 13 for 2. One of them's been a double and the other a home run. So when he makes contact, that ball certainly sails. And here comes O'Regan, and he sends that one deep, and we just talked about the power, and he shows it off again. A deep home run by Liam O'Regan straight into center field, and Brian Ray will just watch that one sail into the houses.
What a piece of hitting by Liam O'Regan, and again, homers here to center field, his second home run of the year. This one a solo shot, and you could tell the second that ball left his bat, that ball was going to go over the fence. Huge piece of hitting and a huge spot for O'Regan to give Newport some breathing room.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Tacking on another run is big here. And O'Regan, what a stat line, as that one is chopped foul into the dirt by Cade Cabinas. His 3rd hit of the year and his 2nd home run.
How about that?
That's a lot of power on that kid.
And we've seen him do this in batting practice. He is a talented hitter, and once he finds a rhythm, he's going to be really even more dangerous in this middle of the lineup.
I can't imagine those homeowners in the outfield are all too pleased with O'Regan, as he certainly likely sends a few out there during BP.
Oh, numerous. And so do, other hitters in this Newport lineup as well. It's a lot of fun to watch here.
And a big cut by Cabinas. That'll be strike 2 for the big lefty.
Yeah, Cade Cabinas out of Oklahoma State. This is his Newport Gulls debut here tonight. 6'3", 215 pounds. Played for an Oklahoma State team that went to the Fayette Regional.
And a strikeout there for Grant. And a great response after allowing the home run by Liam O'Regan to strike out the designated hitter.
And how about the year Oklahoma State had? They got in as the number 8 seed in the Big 12 tournament. They won the Big 12 tournament and then went to the Fayetteville Regional in the NCAA tournament. Had a really great year, and again, that's a lot of baseball. So Cabinas certainly has played a lot even before arriving here in Newport.
Yeah, you wonder if that wears on him, playing so much baseball in such a short span of time, and now straight to Newport here for summer ball.
Certainly, and again, it's a lot of traveling, especially in the Big 12, and here, similar stuff. It's a very good league to prepare players for the traveling of the next level, for the excellent competition.
Oh, you hit the nail right on the head. The head there. I mean, a game nearly only one off day every single week for these guys, so it's really preparing them for the grind of professional baseball.
It's certainly really a top league in the country, and just the top to bottom for all these teams. The standings are so close every year. It's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Swing and a miss there for Liam McGill. McGill 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out earlier in the second.
And of course, here at Cardines Field, they love their Newport Gulls, and rightfully so for a team that's looking to bring home its 7th NECBL championship.
And jackknifing back is McGill. Count now 3-1 on him.
And if you don't know much about Cardines Field, it's considered to be the cousin of other notable fields, such as Ebbets Field, Fenway Park, and Wrigley. So makes sense, you know, the history surrounded around this place.
Some big names. And that one in there, so a full count for Liam McGill. And if I'm not mistaken, Babe Ruth actually played at this field at one point.
Babe Ruth, Jimmy Fox, Larry Doby, Lou Gorman, Satchel Paige. A lot of unbelievable talent.
Some big names in baseball, and that one will just be chopped foul. And McGill still advancing to first. And they're going to give him the walk. As Grant was confused as to what the call was, as was I. But that went into the dirt. Grant thought that McGill got a piece of it, but it'll be a walk for Ronald Grant. Liam McGill now takes first base.
Yeah, it is the first walk of the night issued from Grant. And, Jack, I think he's done a nice job. I mean, he's pitching the contact. He's making Newport's hitters work. At this point, you really credit the Gulls, out hitting Mystic 4-2. And that's kind of what the difference has been. But Grant doing a nice job keeping his team in this ball game.
Yeah, O'Neill does a nice job there of keeping the ball in front of him and holding McGill at first base. And now a conference at the mound as Mystic Schooners owner, GM, and pitching coach Dennis Long will come out to talk to Grant. And it has been a great day for Grant. You know, he is a younger player, but to respond with runs scored on him with consecutive strikeouts is huge. You know, you had that single, which brought home Miser earlier in the first, and he responded with 2 straight strikeouts. And with that Liam O'Regan home run, he came back and struck out Cabinas. So he's done a great job not letting these runs get to him. And, you know, for other pitchers who are less mentally tough, this lead could easily be 4-0 or 5-0.
Certainly have to do what you can. As they say in baseball, control what you can control. You can't worry about what your lineup is going to do behind you. You cannot worry about what your defense is going to do behind you. You have to control the things you can control, and in my opinion, Grant has done that here tonight.
Coming out of the crouch to grab that one was O'Neal, looking down that first base line, taking a big hack and a miss is Nicholas Raposo.
As we talked about, it is Newport Gulls Scholarship Night here at the ballpark, and we'd like to honor all of the scholarship winners here tonight. Victoria Powell from Middletown High School, Pandora Walker of Rogers High School.
Grant deals, and that's in there for a strike, so he's evened up the count at 2-2.
Eliza Lopez of Rogers High School, Juliana DiMiglio from Rogers High School, and Maeve E. Byrne from Rogers High School. Congratulations to all of them for receiving Newport Gulls scholarships here tonight.
McGill not being shy about taking a big lead off that first base bag, and as Grant loads up the count, O'Neal staring down the line, trying to keep McGill close.
And Jack, we talk about how gorgeous of a night it is for baseball and the history of Cardines Field, and even the pregame festivities here tonight were fantastic. The national anthem was sung by Sarah Garcia.
As Grant deals and a hit out in the gap between left and center for Nicholas Oposo. He's going to roll in with a double. Taking third is McGill.
It's a great piece of hitting there by Raposo, and credit the Wheaton College product for being able to get his barrel through that baseball. Puts runners on the corners here for the Gulls. And again, we enter this spot with the Gulls, a runner in scoring position with 1 out or less. What can Michael Webb do here? He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. This is a big spot for the Rhode Island College product. Newport trying to build some breathing room against this pesky Mystic team.
It's absolutely a big spot here for Michael Webb, and one that he needs to prove himself in. Those 7 strikeouts are a big number, as we mentioned earlier, and hitting just .083 on the year.
And that's a nice approach there by Webb. You know, you go hunting a fastball when you get up in this type of spot. Now you foul that one off. If you're Grant, what do you do? Do you go back to it, or do you make Webb keep that weight back and hit a breaking ball? What do you do?
Well, obviously Webb has been swinging and missing a lot, and he goes with the breaking ball there, and Webb fouls that one into the netting. But attacking, now that you have him in this 0-2 hole, attacking him with a fastball, you do have that runner over at third, but with a guy who swings and misses as much as Webb has earlier in this year, I think you have to go for the punch out here.
Got a couple pitches to waste.
And kicking and dealing is Grant, and that one's pop fly. Back is Truesdale. Coming in is the third baseman, the shortstop Griffin, but landing foul and out of play. No Schooners could get to it. You had 3 of them closing in between Garrett Griffin, John Truesdale, and Vinny Polisco out there in left field.
Yeah, Jack, that's just a little something we like to call the Bermuda Triangle out there in baseball terms, where you got the third baseman, Truesdale, the shortstop Griffin, and Polisco all giving chase. I think that Griffin probably has the best chance of catching that ball. Maybe Polisco as well, but that's just a tough, tough play to make.
Absolutely. Truesdale might have been the closest to it, and that one misses for ball 1. So count now 1-2 to Michael Webb. But closest might have been Truesdale, but always hard to catch a fly ball when you're trying to backpedal and keep an eye on it. Garrett Griffin came sprinting in from that shortstop area, but not in time. And Michael Webb will have another chance, as that one is lifted into left field. Coming on is Polisco, and Polisco will send it home. McGill coming on, and he's going to be tagged out. A great throw by Vinny Polisco to get the runner coming home, and that ends this inning. Newport tacks on 1 with a homer, leads 2-0 heading into the top of the 5th. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we are back here with more Newport Gulls Mystic Schooners action. Newport added a home run in the bottom of the 4th to extend their lead to 2-0, but a fantastic throw in the outfield by Vinny Polisco got the runner Liam McGill trying to come in to make it 3-0, but Polisco guns him down, and we're here now at the top of the 5th, and what are the keys for the Mystic Schooners to get back into this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and I think right now, Jack, it starts with hitting. It's hard to win right now when you have 2 hits. I think for Mystic, your goal is to make Trevor Tinder work, and currently Tinder right now in this ball game, he has been spectacular. 6 strikeouts and 15 batters faced. When I say making Tinder work, putting the ball in play. And if you're going to strike out, make it a lot of pitches. Make it an 8-pitch at bat. That's what Mystic has to do. Tinder has been in a rhythm here thus far. And if you're a Newport fan, you're hoping he continues that success.
Absolutely. Tinder approaching the 60-pitch threshold. So right on the line as Winkle flashes a bunt, but it'll be in there for a strike.
Tinder, another thing that he has been doing well here tonight, getting ahead. He's only walked 1 Schooners hitter. That was Matthew O'Neill, who awaits on deck.
Chris Winkle will lead things off for the Schooners, followed by Matt O'Neill, as you mentioned, the catcher, and Garrett Griffin, the shortstop, to round things out in the 9-hole. Winkle has gone 0 for 1 today, had a ground out to the second baseman. And he comes in here looking to try to get things moving for the Schooners. That one outside for a ball, hitting 167 on the year with 3 hits, 2 doubles, and 2 RBIs. As Tinder gets set to deliver pitch number 60 on the 1-2 count. And that one is low. Jackknifing back is Winkle. And, if you're Winkle, you might want to sit in there and take it. I know you don't want to risk injury with a flaming ball like that, but try to get things moving. You get on base any way you can for these Mystic Schooners. And Winkle unable to hold, and that'll be a strikeout.
And for Tinder, this is his 4th strikeout in the past 6 hitters. It's strikeout number 7 on the night, and this is what I'm talking about. And this is the outing that Newport is going to need consistently, especially if this offense is going to struggle like it has been in these first 4 games, understanding sample size and growing pains here early on in the NECBL. Those may be some of the factors, but Tinder has been sensational here tonight, getting ahead, keeping Mystic off balance.
And that last pitch by Tinder clipped the inside corner for strike 1. And tell me, as Tinder's day may be coming to a close soon, we saw Tinder took a minute to come out from the Newport dugout. Wonder if he was talking over things about whether or not when he was going to come out. How's the relief pitching been this year for the Gulls, and do they feel confident with just a 2-0 lead?
Yeah, you bring up an interesting point with this pitching staff collectively. I think the relief pitching has been solid. When you look at it on the whole, Newport's ERA as a team is 4.19. That's number 9 in the league. That's the bottom third.
And Matt O'Neill swings and misses for a strikeout. So walked his first at bat, and Tinder now has consecutive strikeouts in this inning.
And for Tinder, it has been an unbelievable evening for the right-hander out of Georgia. And 4th strikeout in the past 5 hitters. That fastball, when it is that hard, I mean, it is coming in quickly. He's able to elevate that, and still these Schooner hitters have basically no chance, because that's how much shorter you have to be to the baseball as a hitter. Tinder going up top there at the letters of O'Neill.
You said it, as Garrett Griffin swings and misses on a ball way upstairs. Griffin, we mentioned his incredible .496 batting average last year at Mitchell College. Hit just .271 the year before. Ups that all the way to .496 and took just 15 more at-bats the year before.
8 strikeouts for Tinder here tonight and 17 batters faced.
That's incredible.
There you go. He has been spectacular.
And strikeouts really been the MO for Tinder, as that one low in the dirt. Evens up this count at 2-2. But put some runners on base in Bond and Michelli, as well as O'Neill, but able to hold them via the strikeout You're not able to get fly balls to advanced runners, no grounders. He's taking them out at the plate, and that one's in there for strike 3. So 3 consecutive strikeouts for Trevor Tinder ends the top of the 5th inning, and Schooners still trail 2-0 as we go into the bottom of the 5th here. Newport Gulls on top. And we are back here with more NECBL action with the Mystic Schooners trailing the Newport Gulls 2-0 as we start the bottom of the 5th. Now tell me, what are the Gulls looking for in this at-bat?
Jack, I think currently when you look at the way that this team is swinging the bats right now, this offense looks like it's in a rhythm, right? The big thing that I think to take away from these first few innings, when Newport has gotten runners in scoring position with 1 out or less, that's been, at least in this game, where they have struggled a little bit. Either a strikeout, either not putting the ball in play effectively. So if Newport gets runners in scoring position here early on in the frame, they need to find a way to score them. They need to put the ball in play effectively. We'll see what Kevin Heiss can do.
And Ronald Grant delivers strike number 1 to Kevin Heiss, right down the middle. Grant has gotten himself into some tough situations, but for the most part battled back, and this lead just 2-0 for the Gulls, thanks to some great pitching by Grant as he goes into his 5th inning. Both pitchers going pretty deep into their starts here tonight, as Grant is just 3 pitches away, now 2, as that ball is high and upstairs.
Grant here tonight, 41 strikes and 28 balls through 4 innings of play. Like we said, he's kept Mystic in this ball game with just 2 hits to back him.
And that pitch inside for strike number 2, count now even. But Grant just a pitch away now from 70 pitches, as both him and Tinder, by NECBL standards, have had some long nights, but innings-wise, they're throwing a pretty good clip here, as that one loads up the count on Kevin Heiss. But effective pitching by both players has allowed them to go pretty far into these starts, as Grant gets set to deliver the payoff pitch, and that one is smacked into the backstop by Kevin Heiss.
Heiss has played some very good shortstop this year for the Gulls. Very athletic, very smooth player. And also being able to switch hit effectively for this team has been very nice at the bottom of this lineup to give Newport a little bit of a spark going back up to the top of the order.
And he sends that one deep into left field. Settling under it is Vinny Polisco, and almost collides with center fielder Brian Ray, but Ray able to hold up, and a clean catch for Polisco for out number 1 in this inning.
Yeah, that's some communication issues right there, and I think the center fielder Ray has to be a little more communicative with Polisco about who's going to make that play. You know, a lot of colleges go with the me, you type of communication out there with fly balls. Something to definitely consider if you're Ray, understanding that that's a tough play, and either player could have made that grab.
Absolutely, and sometimes you forget that this is only game number 4 for these guys, or game number 5, excuse me, playing together this summer. Not used to one another's tendencies, as that one rattles the camera behind the backstop. But you said it, going with the you, me, something like that. Ray had the advantage coming in on it, as Polisco was trying to range over to get it, and definitely got to talk more out in that outfield. Thankfully, it was this easy put out, as that one comes back to the pitcher, but Grant knows he should have had it. It trickles in to the outfield for a single.
Archiolo's done a really nice job at the top of this Newport lineup. He's putting the ball in play. He's sparking the rest of his teammates. He's also played very good defense in center field as well. A lot of speed, Archeolo could go here. You know, if you're the catcher for this Mystic Schooner team and Matt O'Neill, that's something to take a look at. And same with Ronald Grant on the mound. You want to keep Archeolo close over there because this looks like a ball game where 90 feet is really going to be huge.
Absolutely, and Archeolo does go, and there's the tag, and he's gone. Garrett Griffin applied the tag, and Archeolo will take a seat, caught stealing. And a nice delivery by Matt O'Neill behind the dish, giving it in a perfect position for Griffin to apply the tag.
O'Neill out of the University of Pennsylvania. That had to be a perfect throw, and it was. Great job by O'Neill. I thought it was a pretty good jump from Archeolo. Bang, bang call by the field umpire there.
And you can hear the groans by Newport Gulls fans, but that absolutely was right on the line there. A generous call to Garrett Griffin, but you know, it was on the line, and it could have gone either way, but a tremendous throw by O'Neill to even give the Schooners a chance to get that out. And Grant gets set to deliver the 1-1 pitch, and smacked over to the second baseman, Nick Michelli, and he's thrown out at first base to T.T. Bowens. So Cameron Meisner will take a seat, and that'll end this inning as the Mystic Schooners let up a run, but let up a hit, but no runs scored, and they continue to trail 2-0 to the Newport Gulls as we head in the top of the sixth inning. And we are back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network in the top of the sixth inning. Nick Michelli will lead things off, followed by John Truesdale and Brett Bond for the Mystic Schooners. A pitching change here for the Newport Gulls as Samuel Lanier, the Florida native, attends East Carolina University, will make his NECBL debut tonight in relief of a fantastically pitched game by Trevor Tinder.
Lanier, 6'1", 205 pounds, out of East Carolina. And that was a very good East Carolina team, especially at the end of the season. They earned the number 8 seed in the AAC tournament. They were the last team to make the postseason tournament and went all the way to the championship where they were eliminated by Houston. But Lanier this year, 2-2 record in 27 appearances, had a 5.17 ERA. In 38.1 innings pitched, he struck out 36. Walked 18, gave up 22 earned runs, and had 1 save. He was tied for the second most appearances on the team. And last year, he led East Carolina and the AAC with 34 appearances made. He went 2-2 overall through 34.2 innings and had a 4.15 ERA. So Lanier, lots of experience there at East Carolina. Makes his Gulls debut here tonight, like you just mentioned, in a big spot, in my opinion.
Absolutely, just a 2-run lead, and as we've seen, the Schooners have come back from a lot worse than that. We're down 4-1 against the Plymouth Pilgrims last night, and a couple nights before that, we're down 8-0 to the same team. They came back with 7 runs, were unable to complete the comeback, but the point stands. The Schooners can put runs up on the board in a blink of an eye, and Nick Michelli fouls that one out into the parking lot. Count now 1-1. Lanier, you mentioned his ERA, not where he'd like it to be last year for East Carolina University, but playing against some stiff competition out there.
Certainly, and again, for East Carolina to be the last team to make the conference tournament and go all the way to the championship, that's called playing your best baseball when it counts the most.
Michelli gets a piece of that one as it bounces into the backstop, as he now evens the count 2-2. Nick Michelli swinging a hot bat, already has a double in this game. As we mentioned, he's a smart player. He came back from that first strikeout against Trevor Tinder and took him deep for a double, and we'll see what he can do against Lanier. And he fires that one out into center field, and back on it is the right fielder, Liam O'Regan. So that one looked like it had some leg on it, but O'Regan came in and put the easy glove on it.
Lanier going with that hard fastball on the inner half to Michele, and he simply jammed him. It's a great pitch from Lanier. Nice job there by O'Regan to track that one into his glove. One away here in the top half of the sixth.
And if you're Michele, that's one you wish you had back, because you're right, he did jam him. Just a little bit adjustment on his swing, and that might be a double instead of a fly out. Now up is the Alabama native, attends the University of Alabama, John Truesdale. Has a nice southern accent if you ever talk to him.
The third baseman, Green, playing about 5 feet to his left and even with that third base bag.
And that one low and outside for ball 2.
Mystic has been retired 9 in a row since Michele's double in the top of the third.
Truesdale looking to snap that streak as it glances off the top of his bat for a foul. Count now 2-1. So the Schooners got absolutely shelled by Tinder. He came at him hard, throwing out 8+ strikeouts, and Truesdale fouls that one into the dirt, hoping to now take advantage of the relief pitcher Lanier, but so far nothing doing.
Jackie, you talked about Lanier being from Florida, and this was a few years ago, but still important to note. In 2013 and 2014, Lanier was rated the number 27 right-handed pitcher in the state of Florida by a perfect game, so highly recruited right-hander. Lanier certainly with a lot of talent here on the mound.
Two highly rated perfect game players facing off against one another. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that John Truesdale was a top 5 shortstop prospect coming out of the state of Alabama in high school. And Truesdale now sets for the full count pitch, and he fouls that one backwards. And so we will reset things. Still full count here for the Alabama native. Truesdale looking to just reach on base as his Schooners have been unable to get anything consistent going on offense today. And he's able to chop that one over to the second baseman. That'll be Michael Webb throwing out to Liam McGill. And out number 2 is on the board for the Newport Gulls.
Yeah, Webb has been really smooth out there at second base, and that's a routine ground ball, but it's important to note that defense and pitching, at least in my opinion, will always beat good hitting. And with Newport here, their offense starting to get into a rhythm. The pitching has been very good. There you see the defense, Webb with nice rhythm, understanding the speed of the runner, and Truesdale making a nice throw over to first. It's the little things that help you win a ball game like this.
Brett Bond takes a big cut. And we mentioned before, he was the man who evened things up in Mystic last night, which allowed the Schooners to then walk off against the Plymouth Pilgrims. That one coming in and dropping down for a strike number 2, and that was a pretty looking pitch.
Yeah, just dropped in that curveball there. Started at the letters, broke to about the knees. It's a great pitch.
And swinging missing for strike 3 is Brett Bond, and 1-2-3 goes Bond, and that'll end the inning. A fantastic inning of relief for Samuel Lanier. Schooners still trail the Newport Gulls 2-0. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Trevor Holmes.
Oh. And we are back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Almer as the Newport Gulls lead the Mystic Schooners 2-0. I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Peck, who is going to be giving us the scores around the NECBL tonight.
Thanks, Jack. Over at Forges Field, the New Bedford Bay Sox have a 3-0 lead over the Pilgrims. At Max Field Sports Complex, Upper Valley Nighthawks up 2-1 on the Sanford Mainers thanks to a 2-run blast by Frankie Gregoire. And in the bottom of the 6th inning, Ocean State Waves down 1-4 versus the Danbury Westerners. Top of the 6th inning as well, Valley Blue Sox hanging on against the North Adams Steeplecats. That score 5-4 up at Joe Wolf Field. And here in Newport, the city by the sea, the Gulls hanging on with a 2-0 lead against Mystic. Jack, back to you.
Thank you, sir. And Schooners trying to get back in things. They're going to pull their starter, Ronald Grant, in favor of reliever Trevor Holmes. Holmes has been solid for the Schooners in relief. Has pitched 3 innings thus far with 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a straight 0 ERA as he puts that one in there for strike 1. Pitching to the third baseman, Tyler Green. So Holmes trying to keep the Gulls at bay as his offense has struggled to put any runs on the board in this game. Fouled into the backstop by Green for strike number 2. Count 2-0. Trevor Holmes looking to make quick work of Green here to open the bottom of this 6th inning. Holmes sets and deals, and that one is chopped back over to the shortstop, Garrett Griffin, and an easy throw to T.T. Bowens for out number 1. So that'll go 6-3 on Tyler Green.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there by Holmes. You know, you want to come out of the bullpen and throw strikes and challenge this Newport offense. Make them beat you with the bat, not their eyes. That's what you want. Holmes right there. Nice job. Good job by the shortstop, Griffin. Getting a high hop, easy to handle, knows the speed of the runner, and Green quickly went away.
Holmes, a ton of experience as he gets number 14, Liam O'Regan, swinging and missing. First strike 1. O'Regan hit a home run in his last at-bat, but Holmes, a lot of experience, a senior at the University of Connecticut, hails from Ashland, Massachusetts, and again gets O'Regan swinging. So 6 straight strike pitches for the right-hander, Holmes.
Get you your final lines on your starters here tonight after the pitch.
And that one lifted into center field. Back is Michelli, but it'll be caught by Brian Ray for the easy out.
Ronald Grant, the starter for Mystic, he's in line for the loss tonight. Real nice outing, though. 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. For Newport, in line for the victory is the starter out of University of Georgia. It's Trevor Tinder. 5 innings pitched, no runs, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk.
And we saw a fantastic outing from both pitchers as Cade Cabanis fouls off the opening pitch for strike number 1. Obviously Tinder with a tremendous outing, but for a young guy like Grant to come in here and perform as well as he did, he left 2 runs on the board, but still a solid opening outing as Holmes rides inside with that pitch and hits Cabanis. And Holmes apologizes a little bit. I think he just kind of nodded at Cabanis. You know, obviously didn't mean to get him there, but it'll put a runner on first. And coming up is Liam McGill. McGill is 0 for 1, reached on a walk in his last at-bat. So with 1 man on and 2 outs, here's the pitch. Did he hold? And that'll be in there for a strike.
Yeah, there you see a changeup from Holmes. Looked like a circle change from up here, and a really nice pitch. Nice job by McGill as well. Not something that you probably want to swing at in the first pitch of the at-bat. Probably looking for a fastball instead.
That one low for a ball. Count now even at 1-1. Keeping an eye on Cabanis is Trevor Holmes. Cabanis with 2 straight strikeouts. This is his first time on base. Takes his solid lead. And did he go? And they're going to say he didn't. So he gets up in the count now 2-1. The appeal said he didn't go, and here's the 2-1 pitch now for Trevor Holmes. And going is Cade Cabanis, and unable to get the ball out of his glove is O'Neill, and that's unfortunate because he had a good jump on things. Came right out of the crouch and in safely to second is Cade Cabanis on the stolen base.
That's a great job there by Cabanis. Great jump as well, and I'm not even sure if O'Neill was able to hang on to that he would have been able to throw him out. That's a nice job there. Single could give Newport a 3-run lead.
And that one bounces foul down the third base line. And Cabanis will trot back over to second base.
And Newport would love some insurance runs here in this ball game. It's a 2-0 lead, and Newport right now out-hitting these Mystic Schooners 6-2. And also defensively, we've talked about this, Jack, but the Gulls playing a clean slate of defense. That has been very important thus far.
Holmes now trying to get himself out of this inning. Count all even at 2-2. Runner in scoring position at second base, and he gets McGill swinging. So that's a strikeout to end the inning as Trevor Holmes continues his streak of scoreless pitching. And the Schooners continue to trail the Gulls 2-0 in the bottom of the sixth. Heading in the top of the seventh is the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Almer here with the call with the Schooners trailing 2-0 to Newport Gulls. I'm going to send things back over to Darren Zaslow for the play-by-play.
Thank you so much, Jack. Big spot here for Mystic as they try and cut into this 2-0 deficit against Samuel Lanier, the right-hander from East Carolina, enters his second frame of work. Hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up in this Mystic lineup. Bowens, Polisco, and Ray, as Bowens drills this one deep left center field. Back on it to his right goes Archiolo, who puts it away on the move about 5 feet in front of that left center field wall for the first out of the inning.
And that's frustrating if you're T.T. Bowens. You thought you had at least a base hit, but not enough. Almost got to that wall, but nice job by the center fielder, Drew Archiolo, getting underneath it and putting it away for out number 1.
So Bowens now 0 for 3. Here comes Vinny Polisco. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. First pitch from Lanier, a hard fastball. Runs wide of the outer black, 1-0. 2-0 your score in favor of Newport. Top 7, 1 away, and the base is empty. Lanier winds and delivers. Another hard fastball. That one catches the outside third for a strike, 1-1. Polisco, the number 5 hitter in this Mystic lineup. Bent knees, squared stance, 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2, nice pitch from Lanier. It's a hard fastball, Jack.
Absolutely it was. Got Polisco swinging, and he's a batter who's had a great year so far for the Schooners, hitting .333 with a homer and 3 RBIs. A great guy to have out bat at this juncture, and Lanier just got him to chase, but wisely holds up on that one.
1-2 misses just a tad downstairs and a little outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Polisco. Lanier holds the black glove at the belt buckle as he gets his sign from Raposo, and now Polisco will call time and step out. The third baseman, Green, plays about 5 feet to his left. The shortstop, Heiss, as well, about 5 feet to his left towards the middle of the infield. 2-2, curveball taken downstairs to push the count full 3-2.
And Polisco has a great eye. And a 4-5 loss to New Bedford. He did not record a single official at-bat, but had a perfect on-base percentage. He took 3 walks, and he'll take another one tonight, and was hit by 1 pitch. But you see that great eye by Vinny Polisco, gets him on base for the Schooners.
Payoff pitch misses high and away for ball 4. It is the first walk of the night issued by Lanier. And it brings up the number 6 hitter, Brian Ray, the center fielder out of Miami-Dade. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a groundout. Newport scored their first run of the ball game in the first inning on an RBI single with 1 out from Tyler Green to score Cameron Meisner. And then a solo home run from Liam O'Regan in the bottom of the 4th gave Newport a 2-0 lead as this one gets away from the catcher Raposo. To second base goes Ray. And Mystic in business, Jack, here for the first time really since the 3rd inning.
Absolutely. Caught a big break on that wild pitch by Lanier. Puts Polisco in scoring position now over at second.
So Lanier gets back on the rubber. He works from just about the center of the slab.
And the Gulls have been doing all the scoring in this game, but really just a 2-run lead. So the tying run currently at bat for the Schooners.
1-0 misses high with an elevated fastball that ran in towards the hands of Ray, and the count 2 balls and no strikes on the number 6 hitter in this Mystic lineup. Lanier leans over his front leg as he gets the sign from Raposo. Looks at Polisco at second, 2-0. Fastball runs inside, ball 3. Lanier falls behind Ray, 3-0.
And kind of concerning, as unsurprisingly, you have Raposo going out to talk to his pitcher, but if you're Lanier, if you walk 2 straight batters here in the middle of this lineup, you got a pretty good number 7 guy in Chris Winkle waiting, and that could spell trouble, especially with only that 2-run cushion.
Ray wears a black arm sleeve on that right arm. Black wrist tape on the left wrist.
And that's exactly what you didn't want to happen.
Puts runners on first and second. Not too much damage, though, done to Lanier, as the double play ball could be in effect here. And we'll see what Chris Winkle can do, the right fielder out of Connecticut.
We're going to get a mound visit here, and that's unsurprising, as 4 straight balls in a key juncture like this will earn you that.
Newport pitching coach Kevin Winterroad will talk with Lanier. Back-to-back walks for the right-hander from East Carolina. Lanier 12 strikes here thus far and 8 balls. So we'll see what the right-hander can do, as pitching coach Kevin Winterroad for the Gulls will bring in the entire infield and the catcher Raposo to have a quick chat on the mound. Once again, it's a 2-0 Newport lead here, top half of the 7th. 1 away, runners on first and second, courtesy of walks to Polisco and Ray. Chris Winkle at the dish. Grounded out to the second baseman, Webb, in the second. That ended the frame, and he's also struck out in the 5th to lead off the frame. Winkle stands tall from the left side, swings an all-tan bat, pine tar towards the handle of the bat. Wears navy batting gloves, white wrist tape, bent knees, squared shoulders. First pitch, fastball runs high and away. 1-0, Lanier falls behind.
Not a good sign for Lanier. That's ball number 5 in order.
Lanier gets his sign from Raposo. The back foot of Winkle is on the back line in the left-handed batter's box. Lanier sets at the chest, 1-0. Fastball, foul tipped into the glove of Raposo, 1-1.
That's what you need if you're Lanier, to try to get things going. Get a nice pitch in the zone, something for Winkle to swing at, and he comes up empty, and that'll build your confidence, especially after walking 2 straight runners.
First baseman McGill plays behind Ray. The Newport middle infielders pinch the double play depth towards the bag. 1-1, check swing, strike 2, outside corner. It's a great pitch from Lanier. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chris Winkle, Mystics right fielder, batting in the number 7 spot in the lineup.
And Winkle, just a 167 average so far this year, but those 2 RBIs indicate he's a nice situational hitter for the Schooners.
After a couple looks towards second, here's the 1-2. Fastball just misses wide, 2-2. T.T. Bowens led off the frame with a fly out to center field. And then back-to-back walks to the number 5 hitter, Vinny Polisco, and number 6 hitter, Brian Ray. Sets the scene for Winkle with 1 out in the frame. Top 7. Newport leads 2-0 here on Newport Gulls Scholarship Night. The break-even offering from Lanier. Curveball skipped in the dirt. Great job by Raposo to keep that 1 in front. 3-2 now on Winkle.
A really good job by Raposo to keep that in front of him. If he let that one get behind him, that takes the double play ball kind of out of play here. I mean, you still have the runner on second, you have the force there, but it's not as easy to do, and now you have 2 runners in scoring position rather than just Polisco.
Payoff pitch on the way. Fouled off left side. We'll do it again. Nice job there by Winkle to stay alive.
And it just shows you how good the pitching really has been for the Schooners, as they've been scoreless here through 7, but with the man up currently the go-ahead run, they've been able to keep things tight despite not producing any offense.
Lanier looks at Polisco on second a couple times. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Great job, Sam Lanier, 2 away. Second strikeout of the night for the right-hander out of East Carolina University. Brings up the number 8 hitter in Matt O'Neill, the catcher from the University of Pennsylvania. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and he walked to lead off the top of the third.
And if you're Winkle, you can't be too frustrated about that one. That was a low ball you had to swing at. The umpire's been calling a lot of that stuff by the knees tonight. Can't sit on a full count pitch.
First pitch to O'Neill, front door bender in there at the knees. 0-1 on Matt O'Neill. He swings it from the right side, swings an all tan bat. Once again, a lot of pine tar on that handle. Wears black and white batting gloves. Lanier gets his sign from Raposo and sets the black glove at the belt. 0-1. Fastball taken down and away, 1-1.
Good eye by O'Neill. That one was well outside, and he sat on it.
Off of first is Ray. He walked. Off of second is Polisco. He walked as well. 1-1 pitch. Curveball gets away from Raposo. Both runners will advance. The second base goes Winkle. To third goes Polisco. A hit to the outfield. A single could tie up this ball game, Jack.
It definitely could. Now that you have two speedy runners on, like Polisco and like Ray, this could spell trouble. All you need is a single, and we may have a brand new ball game here.
2-1 on O'Neill. Lanier sets and deals. Fastball, this one tapped into the glove of Raposo, but he caught it in foul ground behind home plate. So it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes on O'Neill.
And that pass ball, not as problematic now as it would have been had it been Winkle, as you don't have the opportunity for a sacrifice fly with 2 outs on. But still, like you said, that single could even things up.
2-2, misses down and away. Count pushes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on O'Neill. To 2-0 Newport lead, bottom 7. Runners on second and third, 2 outs in the frame. Probably biggest pitch of the ball game thus far, Jack.
Absolutely. This has the chance to be a difference maker. Schooners haven't had a better opportunity yet.
The payoff pitch on the way. Fastball, ground ball, weakly up the middle. The shortstop Heiss gloves it, throw to first, and that will get Lanier out of the frame. Matt O'Neill is retired, 6-3 for the Schooners. They get no runs on no hits, leave 2 aboard with no Newport errors. Let's stretch and come back with the bottom half of the 7th. Your score, Newport 2, Mystic nothing, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Cardines Field here in the city by the sea. It's beautiful Newport, Rhode Island here on Newport Gulls Scholarship Night for Newport. They're going to try and create some more cushion to this 2-0 lead in the bottom half of the 7th. They'll send up the bottom third in the Gulls lineup. Nicholas Raposo, Michael Webb, Kevin Heiss to face off against Mystic right-hander and Trevor Holmes. This one bunted down left side, picked up by the third baseman Truesdale, and he throws the first, but Bowens can't handle it. The throw would have beat Bowens, and they're going to rule that an E3 on the first baseman Bowens.
Wow. That's a tough break for the Schooners as Raposo gets a bunt down that can be handled for an out. And Truesdale delivers a pretty good throw, but Bowen's just unable to hang on to it.
Trevor Holmes, 6'1", 220 pounds. Gets back on the rubber, sets the belt, first pitch. This one bunted down the third base line, and it rolls just foul off the bat of Michael Webb, who's 0 for 2. With a ground out and a fly out here tonight. His fly out in the bottom of the 4th ended the frame as Liam McGill was thrown out trying to tag up from third home on a perfect throw from the left fielder Polisco. Off of first is Raposo. He reached on an error. Next one, this one bunted left side. The catcher, O'Neill, as it spins, throws the first one away. But Michael Webb does the job. Up to second base in scoring position goes Raposo. It's a sacrifice bunt for Webb to bring up the shortstop, Kevin Heiss, out of Rhode Island.
Wow, smart baseball, 2 straight bunts. Get a runner in scoring position with just 1 out on. for these Newport Gulls.
The sack bunt 2-3 retires Webb. So here is Heiss. He's a switch hitter. Will bat from the left side against the righty Holmes. First pitch, big swing and a miss, a backdoor bender. 0-1 on Heiss.
And Holmes posted a 7.94 ERA in 2017 over 12 appearances. That was way up from the 3.52 he put up back in 2015, but playing great here early in the summer as he's looking for his 5th straight inning of scoreless relief pitching.
0-1 pitch from Holmes. Fastball chopped right back to him on the mound. He stares down Raposo at second, back to the bag, and throws over to first. 2 away. Great job there, Jack, by Holmes to not allow Raposo to advance.
Really, really smart play by Trevor Holmes. You know, you worry about balls coming back at pitchers that they aren't the smartest of fielders. Sometimes they can just go on impulse when they see a ball coming their way, but Holmes wisely turns back to second, knows he has time before he has to throw the runner out at first, and he holds the runner at second and picks up the second out of this inning.
Archiolo takes a curveball at the knees for strike 1. Drew Archiolo tonight out of the leadoff spot from Fairfield. He's 2 for 3, a single, a double, and a ground out. It's been very good. 0-1. Skied in the air. Shallow center field. The shortstop, Griffin, reaches up, makes the call on the grab, inning over. So Newport gets the leadoff man on via an error by the first baseman, T.T. Bowens. But the Gulls have nothing to show for it. They send up 4 hitters, get no runs on no hits, leave 1 aboard with 1 Mystic error. We're through 7 full innings of play here at the ballpark with a score. Newport 2, Mystic nothing. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls as we go to the top half of inning number 8. They're going to go to the right-hander, Cameron Inc., out of the University of Maryland. This is Inc.'s debut with Newport here this summer. Cameron Inc., 6'4", 235 from Maryland, a team that went 30-20 this year. Inc. this season, in limited innings with the Terrapins, had a 0-0 record. He made 5 appearances, 1 start. Through 6 innings pitched, had a 16.50 ERA, struck out 3, walked 2, gave up 11 earned runs. He was a 2015 perfect game, honorable mention All-America recipient. Once again, Cameron Inc. on the mound here for Newport in the top of the 8th with his team leading 2-0.
And it's so cool to see guys like Anku, our young budding talent, hasn't really found his stride yet with the Terps, but hoping to hone his skills here in summer baseball and come back and be a bigger part of the Maryland organization.
Cameron Inc. will face hitters 9-1-2. Garrett Griffin, Nick Michelli, John Truesdale. First pitch, fastball, soft liner, caught by the shortstop Heiss. He goes down to the catcher's position in a crouch stance to make the grab. 1 pitch, 1 out for Inc. here in the top half of the 8th.
And that's a pitch that you can't be mad about swinging on if you're Garrett Griffin. Almost lifted that one over the shortstop for a golf single, but great reaction by the shortstop, Kevin Heiss, and that'll be out number 1.
Here comes the second baseman, Nick Michelli. He is 1 for 3 with a double back in the 3rd. First pitch, fastball, strike 1 called outside corner. Great job there by Inc. It's 0-1.
And that one was right down the middle. Michelli didn't really get to see a chance, to see much of Inc. in the on-deck circle as Griffin swung at the first pitch he saw. And that one went way outside.
0-1 curveball missed in the dirt and away. 1-1 on Michelli. We're in the top half of the 8th. The base is empty. 2-0 Newport leads. Michelli represents the top of the Schooners lineup. Takes a fastball in the outside corner for strike 2.
I'll tell you what, Inc.'s putting a lot of them right down the center. surprised Michele hasn't swung earlier. That looked like a good pitch for him to take a chance on.
Ink holds the tan glove about letter high. He slowly winds and deals. This one fouled off right side. Will get out of play. 1-2 on Michele.
And that one was a bit high. I'm still surprised Michele didn't swing at the pitch before that, which seemed to be right in his wheelhouse. But good job keeping the inning alive, fouling that one off into the stands.
1-2. This one a sharp ground ball to second. To his left goes Webb. Loses his footing. He still has enough time to throw out Michele. 2 away, 4-3. Michele is retired.
And that is a fantastic job by Webb, ranging over to stop that one from trickling into the outfield. And though he loses his footing, he's still able to deliver the throw out. Michele's speed almost beat out that infield single.
So this is John Truesdale. He's out for 3, the third baseman out of Alabama. Bats from the left side.
Interesting to see Truesdale here this high up in the batting order. Hasn't gone much higher than 4 yet this season. Now here in the number 2 spot. They're trying to get the young Alabama product going.
Took a fastball high and away for ball 1. Ink winds and offers the 1-0 pitch. This one lined into center field, coming on as Archeolo. He'll play it on a hop. It's a 2-out single here in the top half of the 8th for John Truesdale.
And Truesdale showing why he deserves to be in the top 3 in the batting order with a nice single. Still 2 outs though on the board for the Gulls, so a tough situation to get out of, or make anything out of, I should say, for the Schooners here.
It's the first hit for Mystic since the 3rd inning with Nick Michele's double. As Brett Bond steps in, takes a fastball knee high on the outside corner, 0-1.
And the Schooners need something from Brett Bond. Been quiet today, had that double early on, but since then, a ground out and a strikeout.
Swings at an elevated fastball there about letter high for strike 2. Newport out hitting Mystic 6-3. The Schooners have made 2 errors. The Gulls have not made an error yet. They've done a really nice job defensively as well as on the mound.
See, this is where things get tricky if you're Brett Bond, as he takes that one for a ball. He wasn't really able to find his groove early in the season, and you saw against Plymouth, he was kind of reaching for some balls, sinking his knees, trying to, hit balls off the dirt, and was swinging and missing for some strikeouts as he fouls that one back. And a couple ill-advised swings early in this at-bat. You know he hasn't had the greatest summer so far, but the home run against Plymouth and the double here should have settled things down. Hopefully he can calm himself and make something out of this situation with a runner on.
Fouled off that next pitch. Here's the 1-2 from Ink. Misses high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ink throwing hard here out of the bullpen for the Gulls. On first base is John Truesdale. He takes his lead. He's held on by McGill. He singled just a hitter ago. 2 outs, top 8, 2-0 Gulls. As Bond again looks at a high fastball to push the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Truesdale will be off with the pitch. It forces the Newport infield to throw across to first on a ground ball.
And Truesdale's going to take off here with a full count.
Third baseman Green guarding that third baseline to prevent the double. Payoff pitch. This one a broken back ground ball left side. Backhanded stop by Heiss. Long throw to first on a hop. Not in time. And Bond beats out the infield single. To second base goes Truesdale. And Jack, that will put the winning run up at the dish. Back-to-back singles for the Schooners and T.T. Bowens, who's 0 for 3 with a pair of flyouts and a strikeout.
Yeah, but those flyouts have been real close to being something. That one, especially in the 7th, was right up against the center field wall. Bowens looking to show off that power. He's a big guy, got a nice frame to him.
First pitch fastball, called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Bond now 2 for 4 in the ball game with a double and that single.
Bowens' first NECBL hit was actually a home run against Ocean State Waves, so he has the proven power. Now just trying to apply it to this at-bat.
A 1 chopped foul weakly down the third base line. Ink just 1 pitch away from getting out of this slight jam. He retired the first 2 hitters he saw. Garrett Griffin lined out to shortstop, and Nick Michelli, who represents the top of the order in the Schooner lineup, grounded out to second. But back-to-back singles from John Truesdale and Brett Bond set the scene for T.T. Bowens. Represents the winning run. 2-0 Newport, 2 away, runners on first and second to pitch. Skied in the air down the first base line, slicing foul, gets out of play. And we'll do it again. Bowens just a little late on that offering from the right-hander, Ink, out of Maryland.
Let's go back to that 4-3 play against Michelli to get the second out of this inning. Just a fantastic job by Michael Webb. How different would this inning be and this situation be had Michelli gotten aboard?
This one skied in the air. Right in front of the mound, the pitcher, Ink, reaches up and puts it away, and that will end the frame. The Schooners threaten, but they cannot push a run across. They leave 2 aboard on 2 hits with no Newport errors. We go bottom 8 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Your score, Newport 2, Mystic nothing. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport will try and add on to this 2-0 lead here in the bottom half of inning number 8. I'm Darren Zaslow, joined here in the broadcast booth by Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxow, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, and Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck as Cameron Meisner digs in. He looks at a breaking ball off the outside corner for ball 1. Still on the mound for the Mystic Schooners, it's the right-hander in Holmes, as this one is a scorching ground ball to first, picked up by Bowens. He'll take it to the bag himself. 1 away. And that is exactly what you want, Jack, if you are Trevor Holmes. Couple pitches, 1 out. Keep this deficit where it is.
Oh, absolutely. Trevor Holmes has just been phenomenal in relief all season. Going on potentially his 6th straight scoreless inning of relief pitching here. He's 2 outs away from it, and that's just been the story all season long. The Schooners have gotten some fantastic play out of their relief pitchers, whether it's been Holmes or guys like Daniel Rajkowski, Kellen Kroos, Turner French. They've all been great, but the early runs have hampered this Schooners team's ability to consistently win games, and obviously the offense here tonight lacking, as they have yet to put a run up on the board, has been detrimental.
Green swung and missed at the first pitch he saw, then took a curveball downstairs. This one, another curveball, runs up and inside on Green, and the count pushes to 2 balls and 1 strike on Tyler Green, the number 3 hitter. He's at third base from Vanderbilt. Green here tonight 1 for 3 with a single, a fly out, and a ground out. Holmes sets the black glove at the belt buckle as he winds and fires. 1-2. Or check that 2-1, big swing and a miss from Green, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Liam O'Regan waits on deck. He's 1 for 3 with a solo home run back in the 4th. Break-even offering from Holmes. Fouled weakly straight back. We'll do it again. Newport took a 1-0 lead in the first inning on an RBI single with 1 out from Green to score Cameron Meisner, who doubled. And then O'Regan with that solo home run to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Those are your 2 runs on the board for the Gulls. Not a whole lot of scoring thus far in the game. Break-even offering. Check swing by Green. Did he go? Yes, he did. The ball is loose, though, as O'Neill tags out Green. And that is the 2nd out of the inning. Green a little confused there, maybe on the count, or if he held up. Strikeout for Holmes to bring up Liam O'Regan with the bases empty and 2 down.
If you're Green, you might want to start hustling, especially with the way that popped out. If he had not been talking to the umpire and instead tried to run down that first base line, he might have it.
Certainly, and that ball also trickled away from the first base bag as O'Regan digs in. He'll foul off this one weakly left side of the home plate circle. It's 0-1. Newport's cleanup hitter out of Elon.
How great has Trevor Holmes been in this relief stint? Only 2 runners have reached under his watch, one on an error and the other on a hit by pitch.
Holmes 22 strikes and 6 balls here tonight. This is his 3rd inning of work. He's done a great job. Newport leads 2-0, bottom half of the 8th. 2 outs and the bases empty. 0-1 is the count on Liam O'Regan. Cade Cabanis waits on deck. He's 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts and was also hit by a pitch. This one swung on and missed by O'Regan at a hard inside fastball 0-2.
Trevor Holmes is really showing off his stuff. Only 2 strikeouts during this appearance today, but you know, he's pitched around a lot of guys. We've seen a lot of swings and misses and a lot of ground outs.
0-2 skipped in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. For Mystic in the top of the 9th, assuming this score holds, which you never know with O'Regan up at the dish. He's already homered. Hitters 5, 6, and 7 do have Vinny Polisco, Brian Ray, Chris Winkle, as O'Regan takes a breaking ball off the plate. Now 2-2. O'Regan already with 2 home runs on the season, could certainly do it again here. And that would be a big insurance run for the Gulls. 2-2, check swing and a foul ball off the mitt of O'Neill. And we'll do it again as O'Regan stays alive.
Holmes would really love to get out of this inning. It's unclear whether or not the Schooners have the firepower to actually make a comeback, as they've yet to put on a single run. I mean, they have had their opportunities, just not able to push them across. But, you know, if you're Holmes, at least you give your team the chance it needs.
Holmes winds and fires the 2-2. This one swung on and missed for strike 3. It's a great pitch from Holmes. 2nd strikeout of the inning for the right-hander Holmes. And 3rd of the night. Sets Newport down in order. 1, 2, 3. We are through 8 full innings of play here at Cardines Field. Your score, Mystic trailing the Gulls 2-0. It's the last chance for the Schooners as we head to the top of the 9th. Right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Great song choice.
Welcome back here to the ballpark. Appreciate that, Jack. Gotta go with the oldies here. We're here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport leads over the Schooners 2-0 as we go to the top half of the 9th. Here's Dave Peck with your look around the NECBL scoreboard. How you doing, Dave?
Good. I'm doing well, Darren. We have 1 of the 5 games completed. Upper Valley takes down the Sanford Mainers 4-1.
First pitch to Mystics. Vinny Polisco is in there for a strike, 0-1.
No change at Plymouth as the Bay Sox are still up 3-0 on the Pilgrims.
Ank kicks and fires. A fastball runs wide, 1-1.
And in Danbury, the Westerners lead the Ocean State Waves 7-2. They're in the top half of the 8th inning.
Next offering from the Maryland right-hander runs wide, 2 balls and a strike.
Bottom of the 7th, up at Joe Wolf Field, first place North Adams Steeplecats, down 3 runs to the Valley Blue Sox, 7-4. Interesting to see if they pick up another loss, bringing them down in the standings as that ball is fouled off down the left field line.
Good stuff, Dave. Thank you very much. Certainly some tight games going on, big games. And again, another interesting thing to note, the NECBL playoff structure changes from last year to this season. We'll get you that in just a second. 2-2 misses downstairs. Last year, the top 4 teams in the NECBL made the playoffs. This year, it's different. Top 3. And instead of a 3-game first round in the playoffs, it's just a 1-game wild card as Polisco once again skies this one in the air, foul down the left field line and out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count.
Definitely puts a lot more urgency on each team, as that 4 seed no longer available to them.
Ink kicks and fires a payoff pitch. Once again, fouled off left side of the home plate circle. We will do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the number 5 hitter, Vinny Polisco, who is 0 for 2 with a ground out, a strikeout, and a walk. That occurred back in the 7th inning.
And a nice job here by Vinny Polisco, extending this at-bat, keeping himself alive. Schooners just need him to reach to get things going here tonight. And he's going to get rung up.
Payoff pitch in there for strike 3. It's a great pitch from Inc. And that is his first strikeout as a Newport Gull. Cameron Inc. with a potential save opportunity here on the line. Retires the first hitter in the 9th inning, Vinny Polisco. Here's the number 6 hitter in the Mystic lineup, the center fielder Brian Ray out of Miami-Dade. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a ground out, and a walk. First pitch fouled off, 0-1.
And Polisco would love to have that last pitch back. You knew the second it hit the catcher's glove, it was going to be a strikeout, but Polisco thought it might be riding up a little high. Just caught the top of that strike zone.
One foul tipped into the mitt of Raposo. He hangs on 0-2. Newport out hitting Mystic 6-4 in the ball game. The Schooners have made 2 errors. The Gulls have not made one yet. 0-2 offering. Fouled off left side. We'll do it again. We're here in the top half of the 9th. It's a 2-0 Newport lead. 1 out and the base is empty.
That one fouled hard off of the bat of Brian Ray into the siding down there on that third base line that it bounced off and into the infield. The shortstop throwing it in.
Inc. has thrown 30 pitches in 1.1 innings of work. 22 of those have been strikes. And a big swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on strikes goes Brian Ray. Second strikeout in a row and on the evening for Cameron Inc. Newport's 1 out away from victory number 2 here in the 2017 NECBL regular season.
And that's not a good swing by Brian Ray. Trying to reach all the way across the plate to get at it, especially in a tight situation like this. I understand you're in an 0-2 hole trying to make something happen, stay alive in the at-bat, but he just whiffs.
So in Scott in the air, straight away center field. Under it is Archiolo, and he will make the grab. The Newport Gulls fly high here tonight at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, with a 2-0 victory over the Mystic Schooners. Credit the victory to starting right-hander Trevor Tinder. The save goes to Cameron Inc. Mystics Ronald Grant will take the loss. We'll get you all of their stats and more when we come back. Once again, your final score here on Newport Gulls Scholarship Night. Newport 2, Mystic nothing. Your post-game show is coming up right around the corner. Here next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here to the ballpark at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Gulls are victorious by a final score of 2-0. With the victory, Newport improves to 2-3 overall. Mystic falls to 1-4. I'm Darren Zaslow alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, and Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. Let's quickly recap the scoring for you. Not a lot to recap, though, in terms of offense. A very low-scoring game, a pitcher's duel certainly happened here at the ballpark. But here we go. In the top of the first inning, the Schooners were retired with the first 4 hitters as Brett Bond doubled, but he was left stranded. And I bring this up because not a lot of hits for this Schooner lineup, just 4. And for the Schooners, 2 of those were doubles. Newport, though, would take a 1-0 lead in the bottom half of the first. Cameron Meisner doubled. He would come in to score on a 1-out RBI single off the bat of Tyler Green. Newport would go scoreless over the next 2 innings and then would take a 2-0 lead in the bottom half of the fourth as right fielder Liam O'Regan from Elon hit a solo home run over the center field fence. And there you have it. That is all of your scoring. For the Gulls, grabbing the win is the right-hander Trevor Tinder. Tinder for the Gulls through 5 scoreless innings. Only surrendered 2 hits. He struck out 9 and walked 1. Grabbing the save for the Gulls is Cameron Inc. He threw 2 scoreless innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, did not walk a batter, and then throwing 2 very key innings in the 6th and the 7th inning. Also making his Newport Gulls debut is Samuel Lanier. He struck out 2 and walked 2, did not allow an earned run or a hit. Fantastic pitching by Tinder, Lanier, and Inc. They're backed by 6 hits. Newport victorious in this ball game by a final score of 2-0. Jack, a pitcher's duel. If you like low-scoring action and defense when it counts, that's what this ball game was here tonight. I think this is a Mystic team that is better than 1-4. I could also say the same for the Gulls. I think they're a better team than 2-3 than the record leads on to. At least when these teams peak, I think they'll be better than that. But your thoughts here on this ball game here tonight?
Well, for the Schooners, it's not what we're used to seeing from them. Yes, they only pushed 1 run across against New Bedford, but they've been fairly good about at least getting on the board, and tonight just not the case. They left 5 runners in scoring position, so that's got to be frustrating. Something you go back to the drawing board. If you're this Schooner staff, you have to come up with better ways to get your runners across the home plate. They had a multitude of opportunities to go ahead and do that, and they just weren't able to. But 5 runners left in scoring position, and to come away with 0 runs total, then you have to reevaluate, some of the decision making. Hopefully you learn from this, and as the season progresses, like you said, this is definitely a Mystic Schooners team that is much better than 1-4. So hopefully they take what they learned tonight and they grow from it.
Mystic will next be back in action tomorrow when they travel to New Bedford to take on the Bay Sox. The Gulls will travel westward to Danbury, Connecticut to take on the Westerners. That one from Rogers Park. Newport will next be at home here on Wednesday night when they host the Danbury Westerners at 6:35 p.m. The pregame show starts at 6:05. That one is Newport Art Museum night here at the ballpark. 250 free water bottles will be given away courtesy of St. Michael's Day School. Jack, it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed your time here at Cardi's Field. Did you enjoy it?
This is a beautiful ballpark, and the setup you guys here on the broadcast is amazing. So can't wait to come back.
Jack, thank you so much. Best of luck to you and the Schooners on the rest of the season. For my broadcast partner, Jack Almer, I am Darren Zaslow. Don't go anywhere. The postgame show continues next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We'll flip it over to Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck and Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxad for their final thoughts.
Thank you, Darren. Again, Newport edging out Mystic in what turned into a pitcher's duel. Newport wins this one 2-0. Trevor Tinder getting the win for the Gulls. And Mystic Schooners pitcher Ronald Grant picks up the loss, but he went 5 innings, allowing 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. We welcomed all 1,025 people in attendance here at Cardi's Field on this Monday night. Beautiful night for baseball. Tinder, his final stat line, again, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. The Gulls really got a lot of help from their bullpen, keeping things close throughout the inning. From the 6th inning on, Sam Lanier going 2 innings, giving up no hits, striking out 2 while walking 2, and Cameron Enck getting the save. He went 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, and a strikeout. So all in all, a well put together game by the Gulls here to get the 2-0 win against Mystic. Really, it came down to Mystic's inability to push across runs when there were runners in scoring position. They had a number of situations in the 6th inning, 7th inning, and 8th inning when the Schooners really had runners in scoring position thanks to a couple walks by some of these pitchers. Credit the Gulls for being able to pitch around those batters and really get out of some tough situations like we talked about earlier. But again, just timely hitting, and that's really what the difference was here tonight, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, there was a lot of great, really effective pitching, and really by the Gulls, something else that
is important to notice for the Gulls is just how clean they played. This was really, you've seen them progress. It's been less than a week, but you really saw a team that was really playing effectively, efficiently, and just a well put together game. They did not have any errors. Pitching was very efficient. Hitting struggled at times. They stranded some base runners. There's a few sloppy plays in terms of base running, some caught stealings. But outside of that, this was just a solid win. Granted, Mystic is struggling a little bit, but you can definitely tell the slow additions of these new players are just adding up, and this team is slowly but surely starting to come together, and we're not even through week 1 yet, and this team's already flashing great potential.
Clean game is right. I couldn't have put it any better way. I mean, if you compare this one to the 14-4 loss in the opening night game, there were a lot of errors by the infielders. One thing, playing infield, you really don't get a lot of credit, at least statistically, for making the good plays. Of course, the Gulls second baseman Mike Webb and shortstop Kevin Heist, those middle infielders really doing a great job keeping runners off the base for the Gulls. We're going to send it on down to the field side. We have Darren Zaslow here with the player of the game. Darren, down to you.
Welcome back here on the Newport Gulls post-game show. Your player of the game here tonight, the right-handed starter, Trevor Tinder out of the University of Georgia. He threw 5 scoreless innings, struck out 9 hitters. Trevor, it seemed like everything was working for you there on the mound tonight.
Well, it was a lot of fun, just getting up there and just throwing strikes. I had a blast. I love pitching so much. So being able to have some success is super nice. But coming off a little bit of a short rest, so I'm just so thankful that my body, felt healthy, felt good, and felt loose. And the other team, they were solid team, solid hitters on the other team. So it was a really fun night. So very competitive.
You were working both parts of the plate with your pitches. You were getting ahead. How comfortable did you feel out there?
I felt really comfortable, honestly. All my pitches weren't there when I needed them all the time, but the fastball was good. It had a lot of movement on it. So yeah, I felt very comfortable.
It was a close game all night, a 2-0 victory for this Newport team. Do you feel like this team is also starting to get more comfortable with each other as the season goes on?
Yeah, absolutely. We're having a lot of fun. Newport's such a great place to play, and we're just, the chemistry is definitely growing, and we're just having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, definitely things are going to start clicking soon for us, and we're going to get a little winning streak here, so looking forward to it.
Well, Trevor, thank you so much and best of luck the rest of the way. The Newport Gulls post-game show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Thank you, Darren. Again, your final score here from Cardines Field. Newport improves to 2-3 on the season with a 2-0 win over the Mystic Schooners, who fall to 1-4. Trevor Tinder picking up the win for the Gulls. Ronald Grant gets the loss for Mystic, and Cameron Inc. gets the save for the Gulls. They'll be in action tomorrow night as they travel west to Connecticut to play the Danbury Westerners. Should be a good one there as Darren Zaslow returns to his former team of last year. I'm going to send it back on to Darren to finish things up here at Cardines Field. Darren?
Thank you so much, guys. The Newport Gulls post-game show continues right here, field level, at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, as the Gulls take down the 2016 NECBL defending champion Mystic Schooners here in a pitcher's duel by a final score of 2-0. Newport out hits Mystic 6-4 in the ball game. And first of all, we'd like to thank everybody who has been a part of this broadcast, including my friend Gully. The executive producer here on tonight's broadcast is Tom Lima. The producer is Shannon Carlson. Shannon O'Connell is the associate producer. The audio technician is Sam Salinger. The on-site engineer is Lucas Malley. The production assistant is Cam McGuire. The social media coordinator is Meredith Pepis. Ben Maxad is our statistician. Your field reporter is Dave Peck. And also, for the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, I am Darren Zaslow, saying thank you for tuning in and so long from the city by the sea.